You know what, Vince? You're right. The contract does say Finkel, but it says Howard Finkel. That's right, Vince. I now own WCW. Here at the RJ Show and the Sports Guys podcast, we will try our best to use only the following phrases.
We will only use the words ass, damn, hell, and bitch. We will never, however, use the words shit, fuck, goddamn, Jesus Christ, faggot, or any other racial or sexual slurs. Now then, as it pertains to video, we promise there will be less dick references.
Oh, shit.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Well, fuck me.
God damn it. Fuck.
And of course, please do not forget to hit that little subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, or communicate by commenting whatever it is that is on your mind about today's topics and videos.
Who's your daddy, Montreal?
I know you were frustrated at how the officiating went down the stretch there, but you guys pulled it out and was a big win.
David Stern wonder why the league is losing money. That's why people pay good money to come watch these athletes play, and they try to take over the fucking game.
Shaq, we're on live. I know. Let me ask you this.
All right, check it. Check it. You know how I be. Last week, Kobe couldn't do without me. You know how I be. Last week, Kobe couldn't do without me. I call myself big, but I'm not as good as Biggie. I call myself big because I live next to Diddy. Excuse me, Diddy lived next to me. So in the hood, dog, I feel like B.I.G. Because if Biggie was still here, he would be right there on Star Island in the mansion somewhere chilling, sitting on about $500 million. Because me and Guns combined shit, that's $500 million. For real, dog. Now that's B.I.G. Ain't nobody in the world do it bigger than me. That's like a white boy trying to be more nigga than me. That's like a homeless cat having more figures than me. That's like Patrick Ewing having more rings than me. That's like rappers having cars, strip things than me. That's like you saying to yourself you're better than me. That's like Kareem saying to himself he's better than me. Now stop, think about that. It ain't about that. It's about B.I.G. aka Big Shaq. Now that's the difference between first and last place. Kobe, nigga, tell me how my ass tastes. Okay, Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes. Okay, everybody. Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes. I'm a horse. Kobe ratted me out. That's why I'm getting divorced. He said Shaq gave a bitch a meal. I don't do that, cause my name's Shaquille. I love him. I don't leave him. I got a vasectomy. Now I can't breed him. Kobe, how my ass tastes. Everybody. Kobe, how my ass tastes. Yeah, you couldn't do it without me. Kobe, you couldn't do it without me. Kobe, you can't do it without me. Everybody, Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes. Yeah, you can't do it without me. Yeah, you can't do it without me. Yeah, you can't do it without me. Everybody, Kobe. Yeah. Thank you. Brick City in the building. Brick City in the building. Yo, stop bullshitting on the drum.
Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, about the, like he was basically telling me the Four Horsemen. If there wasn't a Four Horsemen, that pretty much paved the way for DX, NWO, anything. And they were the standard. Women loved them and men hated them before that. They were getting every belt. They were kicking ass every single night. They were the standard.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. As far as longevity, as far as originality and stuff, there's no doubt that the Four Horsemen are the end all be all. I mean, they are the original. They were around together for years, styling and profiling, limousine riding. Obviously, there's a star in that group. I'm not going to name names, but there's one guy that sticks out among the others. But yeah, but I think the funny thing is, certain things in the past, I see why Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan were such big stars.
Oh yeah.
Because when you
compared to everybody else's.
yeah, but think about, I thought there's so many people back then that bored the heck out of me. Like we're talking, I don't think that King Kong Bundy could draw a dime today.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
King Kong, can you imagine George the Animal Steel drawing today? He would not draw. That man would be on the indie circuit. I mean, who wants to see some guy come out with his tongue all green and, oh, I'm gonna go, look at me, I'm gonna go rip down I'm gonna go, what's he do? Doesn't he bite like a turnbuckle off, right? I'm gonna bite a turnbuckle with my bare teeth. Little man, look, buy my t-shirt. You know, I mean, come on.
You know what people would be saying? That, oh no, don't let your kid do turnbuckles, it'll turn your tongue green.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, when you look back at Hulk Hogan and the people he faced, obviously besides, Macho Man doesn't count. I mean, Macho Man would have been a star anywhere. Macho Man was fantastic, but you know, sour power too sweet to be sour, you know, all that and stuff. But he was great. But a lot of these guys, can you imagine Big John Studd? Can you imagine him coming out in the same ring as someone like The Rock, John Cena, CM Punk? That dude would go from Big John Studd to Little Who Are Ya? You know, no one will have a clue who he is. Big John Studd would have the impact in wrestling that Luke Gallows had. You know, Big John Studd.
Very, very tough organization.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about how great the director of Chaos, Doc, how great he is. Yeah. The man that made a living wearing a diaper-looking tights and coming out with ridiculous hair, and hey, when the bell hits, I'm gonna get angry. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. But I mean, there's people that watch this video. I'm sure that are gonna be people in their 30s, 40s that watched wrestling back then, and you guys probably liked it because you were kids. But when you look back at it, I'm trying to compare them to today's world of wrestling, and a lot of these guys just could not draw today.
That's 100%. Even then, promos meant something.
Yeah.
To me, just pretty much more for our generation, because that's basically half of what the show is.
Yeah.
If you can't cut a promo, if you can't talk in the mic, boom, you're out of here.
Yeah, they didn't really matter as much back in the day.
No.
And if you couldn't talk, what they slapped the manager with it. They slapped a great manager like the $1 Million Man, or you know, there's just so many great managers that
The Mouth of the South. Yeah.
the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, probably the greatest manager of all time, the Brain Heaton, you know, and Bobby the Brain. Yep. These guys, Bobby the Brain could talk circles around people, and
that's what drew me to listening to WCW. Just because he was brilliant.
Yeah, the thing I really loved about wrestling in the past, that I think this is something that wrestling in the past has over wrestling today. Commentary in the late 80s and early 90s was so much better than it is today.
Yeah, well, and
Vince McMahon was a great commentator.
Yeah, and plus, not to mention, they didn't have really the internet then. There's all these leaks. That's what, when I was a kid, my butt was right there at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Going on, nothing.
Exactly. The leaks, I mean, I get spoilers and stuff when I'm not even looking for it. I'll get a tweet to my phone or something, and I'll just find out stuff, people tell me things that I did not want to know.
You know what I love?
What's that?
Going on my Twitter and going, 6 results for the next 6 TNA house shows.
Oh, man. I got a what would you rather thing here for you, all right?
Okay.
Now, I want you to think hard about this. Would you rather see George the Animal Steel versus Alberto Del Rio, or you have to sit through an entire episode of Impact?
Oh man, I think I would rather see Del Rio try to break George's arm.
Oh man,
because at least I'll get to see a turnbuckle get eaten.
Oh, I got another one. What would you rather? Would you rather see that same match, or would you rather watch Brad Maddox come out and botch a promo?
Can I watch women's entertainment instead?
These are your only options, man. I'm sorry.
I can't get TLC. I can't get anything else like that.
That's just all you got. Yeah. Oh, I got no. Would you rather watch Chuck Palumbo come out and mock Biker Taker in front of Undertaker, or
easily that?
Oh my God, what a joke Chuck Palumbo was. He went from Billy and Chuck to you know, kissing Chuck kissing Billy Gunn to "I'm a tough biker."
And yeah,
You will remember me. It's more like you don't know who I am. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And anybody that thinks that the Shield could hold the NWO's jockstrap,
Oh, come on.
you should never, ever be allowed to watch wrestling ever. And
Oh
I
my
mean
god.
ever.
And the funny thing is, I like the Shield a heck of a lot more than I like the Aces and Eights.
I think I like the whole NXT way better than I like the Aces.
You talk about the Nexus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takeover.
Yeah, that was way. I mean, that was a lot better. It's cool too because they broke the ring and stuff. TNA can't afford to break the ring. They'll be like, well, let's see how much we got here. Oh, we're paying Hogan $50,000 for the night, so we can't break this ring tonight, guys. Oh my god.
Also, good news. Hogan almost got the rights back to his sex tape.
Oh man. I wonder if he's gonna be doing a review on that. We'll see here, brother. Okay, I'm opening the door here, and oh, dude, brother.
You want to tear off my shirt?
Oh, brother, Hulkamania's running wild, dude.
And then all of a sudden you see Mean Gene in there. Commentary.
Mean Gene? Oh God. Can you imagine if there was just inappropriate placement in wrestling history? Like, remember when Shane McMahon came out there? You know, it does say McMahon, but it says Shane McMahon. That is right, Dad. I now own WCW.
Oh,
Imagine if it was someone else. Yes, Vince, it does say Finkel, but it says Howard Finkel.
and then you got Gilbert out there.
I can't think of a better announcer than Howard Finkel. It's just fun to say his name.
Oh, yeah.
And the way he put things over too was great. You know, he was like Brett the Hitman Hart. You know, it was just great.
Oh man, just the things that could happen.
Oh man.
In your opinion, what is your most favorite that you witnessed, not on a DVD, but you've actually watched rivalry?
Oh, Rock Austin.
Rock Austin?
It was just great. I love the concerts The Rock put on for WrestleMania 19. You ain't nothing but a redneck. You know, singing those songs and stuff. And now with Mania near, oh man, The Rock will face his final curtain. Yeah. That is great.
For me, like, I love that era, but for me, it's gotta either be Edge versus Cena or Randy Orton and Triple H.
A good Cena one was Shawn Michaels and Cena. That was great.
I also like the Shawn Michaels Triple H one.
Oh yeah. There's so many good ones, you know.
Yeah.
CM Punk Cena is one of my favorites too.
That is
Undertaker Triple H.
I just love the Edge. He goes to Cena's dad's house and just kicks the crap out of him.
Oh, you talking about when he beats up John Cena's dad? Oh, that was great. Remember when Orton threw John Cena? John Cena's dad's got a lot of bad memories. Remember when John Cena's dad got thrown over the barricade by Orton and he just gets punted right in front of Cena? And he's like, my father.
Yep, and I remember reading something that his dad volunteered to do that.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah, there's no way Orton's just gonna throw him over right in front of his. Yeah. There's no way that would ever happen.
Yeah, and Cena told his dad, he's like, he might take it, he might not. So that's a chance you're gonna take. And then it was Orton's bootlace. That's what busted him open.
Oh man.
Or Orton handcuffing Triple H and stealing a kiss on Stephanie.
Oh God. I think that stuff would just be great. But let's talk a little bit more about the old wrestlers, because that's something that I think that people don't talk enough about. Can you think of some old wrestlers? We're kind of hard on a lot of the old wrestlers, talking about how they couldn't draw. Let's talk about some wrestlers that could draw today.
That could draw today?
Could draw today. I can think of a few. I'll start off here. I think that obviously Macho Man Randy Savage could draw today. I think Macho Man, like the NWO style with the pants, would draw a lot better than the traditional tights and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that ravishing Rick Rude would definitely draw today. I'm trying to think of some other people. Do you have anybody in your mind right now that could draw today that wrestled 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago?
Oh man, I guess Kurt Hennig isn't that old. huh?
I wouldn't say Kurt Hennig because Kurt Hennig's too obvious. He would definitely draw. He's one of the greatest of all time. In my opinion, Kurt Hennig is probably the greatest to never be champion, to be main champion.
It's true. I think, I don't know, I guess you could say Albert Del Rio is this version of Ted DiBiase.
Well, yeah, Ted DiBiase's so much better, though.
What's that?
Ted DiBiase's just so much better. You can't beat the original.
Yeah, I'm just saying their persona.
I'd rather have JBL.
Yeah.
JBL was just great because he was just such a heel that people just hated him, and you couldn't be a fan of his without getting heat. I used to talk about how much of a fan I was of JBL, and people would just hate on it.
He's a brilliant commentator. I think.
I like how he always gives away results at the end too. He always gives away results at the end of the match. He goes ball game, and it's always ball game.
Yep.
You know when it's over. If the Undertaker streak's over, if he yells ball game, that streak is over.
Yeah, very, very much so.
He's gonna give away results right when the move's done. Up, ball game.
Yeah. See, I don't think Jimmy Superfly would cut it in this today.
Oh, Jimmy Superfly Snuka was. Oh my God, he was not good to me. There's people that liked him. I just didn't. I didn't like Rodney Piper either. I mean, I like Hot Rod. I like the Hot Rod on the mic.
Yeah.
But his wrestling matches were. Oh man, I might as well go take a nap.
Yeah, if I want to see a sleeper hold, that's your finisher.
Oh my God, yeah. But Sergeant Slaughter's no better either. He was not that great. But these guys, I think a lot of these guys are just so overrated now that people put them over. People talk about, oh, how could you say that about Sergeant Slaughter? He's an American icon. Yeah.
Oh man, don't even get me started on Sergeant
there's going to be someone that's going to say you guys are crazy. The older guys were so much better than the younger guys. There's going to be somebody that says that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think our generation now, from the Attitude Era on, just the charisma, everything outdoes anything that older generation did.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think the music comes to makes today's wrestlers better than the wrestlers back in the day that didn't really have that good of music or no music at all? Do you think that makes something?
Yes, music kind of. I don't know. Music just really doesn't. If you have a bad music entrance, like if I like the rest, I'll still like it. Like I hated his new one. I hated it for like the first 5 times I heard it now, and then I loved it.
You swerved on it. You like it now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's just certain wrestlers that the music I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing when the music makes the wrestler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's certain wrestlers that just have the toe package. Shawn Michaels has probably my favorite wrestling song of all time. And he's by far probably, in my opinion, the best wrestler of all time too.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I will argue with someone to the end of the day, and I can justify me saying that Shawn Michaels is the greatest of all time. I can justify that, just like I could justify saying the Undertaker is the greatest of all time. There's certain wrestlers I can just argue all day that they're the best, but I personally still think that Shawn Michaels is the greatest.
Yeah, for me, the reasoning behind that is just the last 2 WrestleManias for Shawn Michaels.
Oh, those 2 of the best matches ever. Forget about the last 20 years, ever.
Yeah.
There's no way there's going to be a better... Undertaker will never have a better match than that.
No, never. And
they tried last year with that match, and it was an awesome match with the chairs and stuff, but they had to use weapons because they couldn't do... Triple H can't wrestle as good as Shawn Michaels.
Oh, and my whole thing is I think it was 70-30. I think it was Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah, Shawn can oversell everything. And Triple H, for the record, I'm a huge Triple H fan. I think he's great. But with the Undertaker, Triple H and Shawn would put on a great match, a better match than Undertaker and Triple H, because it just works better. But Triple H versus Undertaker will never be better than Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that's
never.
Something I can argue right there.
Oh, yeah, it'll never happen. Shawn Michaels had I have my top 10 favorite matches of all time. Most of them have Shawn Michaels in them, as crazy as it sounds. Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar's another good one, by the way, if we're talking about Kurt Angle. But Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, obviously. Shawn Michaels versus, just there's so many great people. Like we said, Triple H.
Razor Ramon.
Exactly, yeah, Razor Ramon. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan. I remember when he oversold Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam?
Oh, yeah.
was one of the all-time best. You know, I mean, it was just great watching him super oversell everything. Shawn Michaels versus John Cena, Orton, Batista. You just name it. Every match he had was good.
Yeah. Since we're on the subject of overselling, who is the worst overseller you've ever witnessed?
Hulk Hogan.
You think you got Hulk Hogan?
Well, that's a tough one. Hulk Hogan is the first name that came to mind.
Mine, just watching from chair shot, Devon Dudley.
Oh, you talking about where he go? You talking about where he super like shakes like a fish? Stone Cold does that too. Anyone that can find it, watch Stone Cold, or not Stone Cold. I'm sorry, Hulk Hogan does that too. Watch Hulk Hogan get powerbombed by Sid Vicious. He'll sit there super like he looks like he's seizing hard.
Yeah.
And here's why I say Hulk Hogan's the overseller, but in the same time, he's my favorite. Hulk Hogan sells my favorite. He's my favorite seller in wrestling history, and I'll tell you why. Whenever he gets a body part injured, he yells out his injury. Like, let's say he gets chop blocked by Ric Flair, just for example, right? He'll yell, "Oh, my knee, dude! Oh, my knee's hurt, brother! Oh, my..." They'll bring the camera up close and be, "Oh, my knee, dude! My knee, brother! Oh, it hurts, brother! My knee!" Like, he'll yell out whatever. Like, he gets pretty detailed too. He's like, "Oh, my knee has a medium fracture on the left side. It hurts, brother!" Like he gets medical about it, and it's Hulk Hogan's my favorite seller of all time, and I love how he has to get to the ropes to get back up. Because whatever, especially nowadays, like if he gets hit by the Ace and Eights, it's like the slowest fall you've ever seen. Like, can you imagine him getting sweet chin now? He'd get sweet chin and he'd slowly walk back to the turnbuckle, and then he'd start falling, you know. But I mean that's nowadays. But I'm talking about overall, Hulk Hogan in WCW, Hulk Hogan just overall. I love how he puts over his injury. He'll yell. I don't know anyone else that yells out their injury. "Oh, my neck, it's my neck, dude, my neck." Like he'll say whatever it is, you know. It's just great.
Yeah, I just remember, I'll always, whenever I see a Devon Dudley match, if it's a hardcore match especially, I will rewind and watch. Just him acting like he got tased by a chair. Like a fish out of water.
It's horrible. It's so horrible. Oh, God, it's so horrible. Oh, man. It's so horrible that it's great.
Yeah, it's just as funny as watching Scott Steiner try to cut a promo.
Oh man,
Oh man, you gotta dot your T's and cross your I's.
Oh, Scott Steiner on a promo. He's like, and he can't beat me, and he's never gonna try. And you'll hear some parts of it, so you have a clue what he's talking about. Then you hear, you might as well get a Kali translator. And the Big Papa Pump says, "Oh man,"
and it's always shut up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh man!
And then he calls everyone a bastard. like Bobby Lashley, you bastard.
Oh man, everybody is, dude. That's just how they roll. Yeah.
I love Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner's great.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely the Michaels of that team too. By the way, oh my God, Rick Steiner. Oh God.
Oh, we were talking about him today. We thought we saw him on a commercial on a motorcycle.
You saw Rick Steiner on a commercial.
But I told him, I was like, it can't be Rick Steiner because I can understand what that guy's saying.
Oh yeah, well I don't think Rick Steiner's as bad as Scott Steiner when it comes to that.
Oh, you don't like me?
One of the best things TNA ever did was they put Scott Steiner on he was the ring announcer for a few weeks.
I remember that.
And then they had Booker T out there as White Snow commentary, and Kevin Nash, but that was just great.
They had the Main Event Mafia.
That was just great.
Now that is a group.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But, you know, I think we've talked about a lot of things now. I think we've given everybody a good amount of entertainment. I think some people are going to take this for what it is, you know, and other people are going to take this insanely serious. And even though I'm pretty serious about everything I said, people are going to take this there's going to be people that take this way over the limit and just be like, "Oh, you hate all the old wrestlers? You don't know wrestling," you know, and stuff. Which is not true. We don't hate all the old wrestlers. We're just pointing out that a lot of the old wrestlers were so plain and cheap that they wouldn't get over today. I mean, that's just a fact. If you think that George Animal Steel would get over today, you're kidding yourself. I mean, he's got the same odds of getting over as who was it, Fatu or whatever his name was. What was the dude's name that came with Ace or with the Legacy for a few minutes? You know, the Umaga wannabe.
Is it Super Superfly's son? Was it Superfly's son?
I don't know. I don't remember. But it was one of those Samoan guys. But he came in there and he was part of the Legacy for 2 minutes. I mean, he probably would get over more than George the Animal Steel.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, you rally up with Ricky Ortiz. I mean, that's about George the Animal Steel style. Let's rally up with George the Animal Steel, folks.
Yeah.
Hit him with the big O.
Yeah, it's the same thing as a movie made in the 70s compared to now.
Exactly. They just don't hold up unless it's like only very rare movies hold up from the 70s, like Smokey and the Bandit holds up.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Compare Batman and Robin to The Dark Knight.
Oh god.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's gonna be people that like the old one better, you know.
Like, yeah, just watching the rubber shark try to fight Batman. Like,
yeah, watching like a puppet hand shark. Oh my god, that's definitely not. Did I just see a guy's wrist? No, that was still a shark. I'm sorry, no. Oh man, that's like watching blood and horror movies in the 70s and looking at it now how real it looks now, and back then it looked. Did that guy just throw a can of red paint on this guy or something? I mean, it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, and everything that we say. Again, it's our opinion.
Exactly.
It's not just something that you have.
It's not facts. It's not facts that Gorilla Monsoon or I don't know. And just name any old wrestler that we can think of. It's not facts that some of these guys, George the Animal Steel. It's not facts that Big John Studd wouldn't draw, but we just don't see how he would.
Yeah, there's only one fact that we know, and there's no argument.
Uh-huh.
Hulk Hogan will never do that second leg drop.
Oh, there's no way Hogan's doing 2 leg drops, man. It's just one. It's one on Billy Ray at I don't know, Bound for Glory or whatever they're gonna do this year, and then the check's cleared.
He doesn't take checks. He doesn't take charge. He
takes
cash.
Cash in advance. He gets paid in advance. He taught Nash that too. And if you don't like the match, if you don't think he drawed well enough that night, oh well, he's already been paid in advance. He don't care how the match goes.
Exactly.
Oh man. It's good times. It really was. Thinking of Hulk Hogan, you don't realize how much you miss Hulk Hogan around his ridiculousness until he's gone. You know.
Oh, most definitely.
Hulk Hogan's the Brett Favre of wrestling. You know.
Oh yeah, yes. We forgot to do it last time we did it, but we're gonna start to do. There's gonna be an RJ joke of the week.
Joke of the week. Yep. Oh man, should I make a separate video just for the joke?
What do you think?
I think we should make a video just so people can just see the joke. That way we can get all the hate mail for that one joke.
Okay.
That way all the hate mail goes one place. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because by the way, these jokes of the week are they're fun-hearted. They're not. I'm not taking it serious, but the jokes are pretty dark. So we'll make one more video just with that joke real quick.
Yeah. Basically, we're Team A. We're gonna cross the line.
We're gonna cross the line a little bit.
Yeah.
Woo! I've got the style and profile.
This behind yo, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a cop try to ticket you, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a fan gets an attitude, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. I make $7 million a year, everybody watch me score. Don't play unless I want, cause I'm number 84.
Who says I won't walk off the field again? Who says I won't? Because the realness hurts. The truth hurts. I keep it real.
10 from the Green Bay 34. Play clock down to 3. Dante gets off the play. Takes the snap. Rolls out to the right. Moss wide open. He burned out Harris. Touchdown!
And profile like never before. But to beat a man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? RJ here, and I'm here with Nick.
How's it going, everybody?
This is the first ever podcast of SportsGuys247. We also have a Twitter account at SportsGuys247. I'll put a link in the description box for you guys. So this is pretty much just the introduction. We're going to basically just give you guys a taste of what we're going to be doing on this channel. And we're going to have live feeds on the Twitter that you can, tweet us and tell us what you're thinking, what you want us to talk about, and etc. But for right now, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk to Nick here. Nick, go ahead and say what you had to say.
All right. Our first topic we're going to jump right into is the Miami Heat, their streak that they're on, the second longest streak in NBA history. I personally think that the only game that is really going to be a challenge is if Tony Parker's 100% at San Antonio.
Yeah, the Spurs. I agree with that.
That's the only way that it possibly could, unless if they're going to keep falling 20 to 30 points behind a team and then expect LeBron to carry him
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching all the games, and there have been some close calls. I mean, Cleveland, they gave them a run for their money, for quite a while. How far back were they? Almost 25 points almost at one point.
27, and that was without Kyrie Irving. That was without two of their other stars.
Uh-huh.
That's just playing down to your competition. Basically that's what the regular season is to them now. They're like the Spurs have been the last 5 to 10 years. Like all they're waiting for is the playoffs.
Exactly, and the Celtics, the Celtics game was the same kind of way. The Celtics had a fantastic lead on them.
Yeah, with no Rondo, no Garnett.
Uh-huh.
It's just you can't expect to do that night in and night out. Just come from behind. You gotta establish yourself. You gotta play the right kind of defense. You gotta hit your shots when you're open.
Exactly, and I think the thing about this streak is that everybody that's facing the Heat, they consider it a playoff game. You know what I mean? The atmosphere, they're trying to be the ones to end the streak. You know what I mean? And I think that's exactly one of the reasons why when the games open up, the opposing teams always they're playing like this is a championship game or something. You know what I mean? They're out there working crazy hard, and the Heat usually have to catch up because they're playing their normal way. They're not taking it as quite as serious. Keep in mind, I think that the Heat are not letting on the fact that this is a giant deal to them. I mean, who wouldn't be thrilled about having a chance to finally have someone actually beat the 70s Lakers, streak but I think that comes into play a lot when it comes to the fact of the startup of the games.
Yeah, I agree. Not to mention that they are the returning champs. So right there, that's just an X on your chest right there. And on top of this record, and they're basically the new Lakers that everyone wants to hate them because of their 3 stars.
Exactly.
LeBron and the whole LeBron, like Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, LeBron Durant. Night in and night out, no matter who it is, even if it's Washington Wizards, if the Los Angeles Lakers, you're going to get their best basketball no matter what.
Exactly.
And LeBron pretty much he's already got MVP locked up. So
definitely.
They're basically just playing for the record and for the number 1 overall seed in the postseason.
Yeah, I was watching First Take a few days ago, and they were actually saying on there, one of the gentlemen, it wasn't Skip Bayless because they were off this week, but one of the gentlemen said that that the regular season doesn't matter to the Heat, and I could not disagree more. I think that if anything, can you imagine how big of a statement it is to not only be undefeated as long as they are, but if they were to break the Lakers, or just the mental statement that would be to the first round opponents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone says the regular season doesn't matter, and they've flat out the Heat players have flat out said we want this record. You can tell that they want this record. The way they band together and come back from 27 points down on the road. And a lot of these games are on the road that they have to come back to. Boston, it doesn't matter who's there, it's Boston. The fans hate them. The fans hate LeBron.
And that comes into play. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's just another thing they come back from.
Yeah.
But it proves how far LeBron has came from not showing up in the NBA Finals against Dallas.
Yeah.
He's hitting the big shots that he normally doesn't hit.
Yeah, he's matured. He's matured a lot.
Yep, the fourth quarter, he's a whole new guy. He looks calm. He looks collective. He looks like it's just a preseason game to him.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. And going back to what I said about the fact that the teams facing the Heat, start off thinking it's like a playoff atmosphere. The Heat definitely toward the second half, they start treating it like a playoff atmosphere as well to keep that streak going.
Yeah, and them along with Denver, that home court advantage is the key for them. They rarely lose at home, and it's bad timing for the Denver Nuggets too. They've got this huge win streak, and all everyone's talking about is the Miami Heat this, the Miami Heat that. Longest streak in their franchise history.
Yeah, the Nuggets are playing phenomenal. And the funny thing about it is, in this year's NBA, they're kind of considered a dark horse, even though they're on such a great win streak. In any other year, that would not be a dark horse; that'd be a fan favorite,
Oh yeah, and just for them, I don't know how they play such small basketball. They got 2 point guards on the court most of the times. They don't really have a one they have one big guy, JaVale McGee, but
Yeah.
all he is he's a blocker and a rebounder. He doesn't score.
Yeah, and he's on Shaq and a Fool almost every week too.
Yeah.
I think that one of the best things about the Nuggets, though, they got one of the best coaches around. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's a big part. That's definitely a big part of what's going on. I don't think he gets quite enough credit for it, but he's definitely one of the best coaches.
Oh yeah, I remember when he was coaching here in Milwaukee. We loved him here. It was a shame when he left. It hasn't been the same without him.
Yeah.
They were a game away from the NBA Finals when he was here.
Oh really? Well, getting back to the Heat real quick. While we're on the topic, do you think they'll beat the Lakers record?
I do. I think, like I said before, it all depends on if Tony Parker is back to 100% of what he was this year. And still, they have to go to at Chicago. And no matter what, Chicago always plays them tough.
Yeah.
They got the bigs. They can bang down in the paint with them. They got Luol Deng who can match up with LeBron. They got shooters.
Yep.
So
one of the best defenses for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even without Derrick Rose, they're still Tom Thibodeau still knows how to coach them up. Defense.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a really tough road to get to or even to pass the Lakers win streak because of how close these games have been. If LeBron has an off day, because we're all human, and if he has an off day and he's not able to bring them back like he has been the last few times, then I think the streak could desperately be in trouble at that point. But if LeBron's on, no matter what, I think the streak will continue. Because it's so hard to, you can't. I mean, I know it's kind of cliche to say it because they've said it for Kobe, they've said it for LeBron, but you just can't defend. You can't defend LeBron when he's on fire, when he's motivated and focused and in the zone. You just can't.
No, yep, 6'9", 260, and he's got point guard speed. He's just dominant. But like they've already proven, like the Milwaukee game, Chris Bosh they had guys on him. All he was doing was hitting the ball, so he was the hot hand, and so LeBron and Wade just fed him and fed him and fed him.
Yeah, I think Shaq said it best when he said that LeBron's just too big, too strong, too fast, and that's just the truth.
Yep, it's just the way. And Mario Chalmers has been as they call him, the little brother.
Yeah,
he's been clutch too.
Yeah, he's kind of underrated. He really is. He don't get enough spotlight because he's really good at what he does. He's a good point guard. He really is.
Yeah, he even going all the way back to college, he beat Derrick Rose and Memphis in the national title game. So he's always been able to hit those big shots, and that's what he needs with LeBron driving, and he's got all those 3-point shooters: Battier, Ray Allen,
Birdman,
Rashard Lewis, Mike Miller. That's why they're so dangerous.
Yeah, I think they got. I mean, I'm trying to think of another team, but I think they do have probably the best bench. As far as the division goes, for sure.
Oh yeah.
They got so much.
The only bench that I think that could compare is either the New York Knicks bench or Oklahoma City maybe. Yeah. Other than that, but yeah, with Harden not coming off the bench for Oklahoma City, that's just, I don't see them going back to the finals.
Well, who do you think on paper has the best starting lineup? I mean, on paper, on theory and paper, I'd say the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, by far the Lakers.
Yeah.
You got 2 ex-MVPs right there. You got a defensive rating, or you have the 2 defensive player of the years as Metta World Peace and Dwight Howard.
Best big man in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to the Lakers. I know we're kind of getting away from the Heat now. The Lakers, I've been following the Lakers for, almost 20 years soon, and it aggravates me how things have went this year. The coaching situations, the Howard. Is he trying? Is he not trying? Is he being a crybaby? Is he really hurt? Those kind of things. This whole season's been, as a Laker fan, it's been just really aggravating for me. I personally wish we had Phil Jackson. I'm not saying Phil Jackson could have done any better. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the coach. It's just that I've Phil Jackson's been my favorite coach for years. And I would just personally like to see him there. And I think that Phil Jackson wouldn't have known how to use Dwight Howard and Paul Gasol on the court at the same time a lot better than the things that's going on right now.
Oh yeah, D'Antoni. He expects the 7-footers to be hitting 3-pointers. Dwight Howard can barely make a free throw. How do you expect that guy to
unless
make a
it's the All-Star game?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the whole thing is Dwight wanted Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
But the new regime wants everything dealing with Kobe and Phil Jackson to be out because now that the bus has passed away, that whole new regime, it's them only. They don't care what Kobe thinks. They didn't ask Kobe about Mike Brown. They didn't ask him anything. And 5 years ago, Kobe and Phil would be the first guys to ask.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you want this guy? I think Nash was their biggest mistake signing him. He's too old. He can't handle those young guys. Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook. They're just when they have to. Not even Tony Parker. He's still a good clutch shooter. He still makes good decisions by passing the ball, but he's a liability on defense.
Yeah. As far as Kobe goes, I think that people always rag and say he's getting too old and stuff. And I mean, he is aging. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sit here and say he's a spring chicken or nothing, but it kind of aggravates me as a Laker fan when people sit there and say he's over the hill and stuff. When you got to think, Steve Nash came in the league the same time as he did. And the difference between Steve Nash and Kobe Bryant is Kobe Bryant came straight out of high school. And Kobe has played in the league 17 years, crazy long time. But if you put in perspective, he's still got a few great years ahead of him because the reason he's played so long is because, like I said, he didn't come out of college. He came out straight out of high school. And that right there makes a difference to me. I think that gives you a few more years, and people need to lighten up on the whole old thing, in my opinion.
This is one of his best seasons, and I am not a Kobe guy, and I think this is one of his best seasons he's ever had. He's still driving. He's still dunking on people at his age. He's still dunking on people, and he's been a lot more of a facilitator than he has in a long, long time. Like the recipe to win is him. Say he scores 8 rebounds, 8 assists. That's a win on the stat sheet. Because that means Dwight's getting involved, Meta's getting involved, Kobe's getting everybody involved. But the things that happen when he trusts teammates too much and they don't cut through for him, that's when the old Kobe comes out. That's when the Mamba comes out.
Absolutely.
That's when the me comes out. That's when the killer comes out.
Yeah. And just like LeBron, if he's on, there's not really much that's going to stop him either.
No. Yeah, just like Kobe's 81 points, there was no way that he was getting stopped that night.
No, absolutely.
Woo! I've got to stop and profile.
This behind yo. Pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a cop try to ticket you, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a fan gets an attitude, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. I make $7 million a year, everybody watch me score. Don't play unless I want, cause I'm number 84.
Who says I won't walk off the field again? Who says I won't? Because the realness hurts. The truth hurts. I keep it real.
10 from the Green Bay 34. Play clock down to 3. Dante gets off the play. Takes a snap. Rolls out to the right. Moss wide open. He burned out Harris. Touchdown!
And profile like never before. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hello and welcome back. This is our second podcast from SportsGuys247. I'm Nick, and I'm here with RJ.
How you guys doing?
And this podcast is going to be about the whole. I want to put an end to the whole Michael Jordan, LeBron James. I'm sick of hearing it. I've been hearing it since day one. I was sick of hearing it even before he got drafted. There's so many reasons why the comparison is pointless, dumb, stupid, and it really grinds my gears if I could steal something from Family Guy right there. I'm going to lay it all out on the table. If you're going to compare LeBron James to anybody, it is Magic Johnson. If you want to compare Jordan to Kobe, that's fine. They both play the same position, same type of player, scorer, dominant, clutch, killer. LeBron is more of the all-around player. He'll pass. He'll give up the game-winning shot, pass to somebody else. He rebounds. He steals. He plays defense. People think that he's like the baby of the NBA. He was the team. This is his team that he brought to the NBA Finals. Eric Snow, Larry Hughes, Drew Gooden. Zildjian Ilgauskas, Booby Gibson, and Anderson Varejao for an NBA Finals team, that has got to be the most god-awful team to ever make an NBA Finals. Yes, they got swept. This is Kobe, Shaq, Rick Fox, Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry, Glenn Rice, Derek Fisher. Now that, coming into the league, you'd be licking your chops coming to that team. Jordan's first championship. Pippen, Horace Grant, B.J. Armstrong, the great John Paxson. You could just keep naming it, and after they would just reload and reload and reload.
And they get D. Rodman.
What's that, RJ?
And they'd get D. Rodman too.
Yeah. Well, this was when Rob was with the Pistons.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, like all I gotta say is Kobe didn't have to go anywhere. Jordan didn't have to go anywhere. They brought people there.
Exactly.
LeBron tried before the decision. LeBron tried getting Chris Bosh there. He tried getting Wade there. Nobody wanted to go to Cleveland. That's the whole reason. Trevor Ariza was supposed to go to Cleveland, but he couldn't promise Trevor Ariza that he was going to stay longer than a year. So no one wanted to go there because they didn't know what he was going to do. And the whole thing is they brought in mediocre talent at the most. Larry Hughes, he was good 2 years before he came to Cleveland. He was hurt every other game. Eric Snow, a 35-year-old point guard who couldn't do anything but pass the ball. Booby Gibson, a rookie who could just shoot threes. Drew Gooden, I guess you could say he was a decent contributor, but he was inconsistent. Anderson Varejao, he was the Birdman before the Birdman. High energy guy, gets boards, and LeBron James came so far from all the criticism, all the heat from the decision, all of that stuff. He's clutch now. He's got his ring. He won an Olympic gold medal, MVPs, all defensive team. Like, what? I just don't know what more people want from the guy. He's a team player. He took a pay cut to get those three together. A lot of people don't talk about that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I like to just say that I couldn't agree with you more about the importance and the showing of how great LeBron James really was to take a Cleveland team that he was not only the only star but the only player even remotely worthy of being a star. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to be rude about the other players, but the other players, they were not even remote. They're not even on the same planet. Let's just be honest. There was not a single person on that team that was even remotely not even comparable in any way to LeBron. He was no doubt the all-star, and it showed how much and how great he was to get them to the playoffs. And if that didn't show, wait until the year after he left and went to Miami, the year he went to Miami, and see how bad that team was without him.
Yeah, the last 2 years they have the most combined losses out of anybody in the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, if LeBron had Kyrie Irving at the time,
it'd be a different story.
It would have been a
LeBron
completely
James had,
different story.
Yeah, if all he needed was either a solid point guard, well, not even a point guard, because they call him a point forward, basically.
Yeah.
He could play point guard. He just needed a dominant big man. Big Z was dominant at times. He was just more of a spot-up 10-foot, 15-foot shooter. That's about it. Yeah. He needed his Robin, and he found him. His name is Dwayne Wade.
And what a Robin that is, though, when you think about it, man. In his own right, he's one of the best players in the league.
Oh yeah, he'll probably go down as the third best shooting guard to ever play the game, behind George and Kobe.
Yeah, I just think that if LeBron had even remotely anyone else that was a star on that team, things would have been a lot different, you know. I mean, you can only do so much as one guy. You know what I mean? If Peyton Manning, if he was on the the Bills or something, he can only do so much as quarterback. You know, you got to have people that can actually catch. You got to have people that can defend. You got to have one person can't win a game. You know, I mean, one person could definitely come back and help win the game, but one person can't win a championship. You name any all-star, you name any team that's won a championship, and I'll name you 2 all-stars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the equivalent of, it's just like the equivalent of having a Hall of Fame quarterback. What uses it if you don't have an offensive line?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was getting at.
Yeah, you're just going to get sacked every time.
Yeah.
And just my whole thing is, like, I think Jordan likes whatever he thinks about LeBron. Because then Jordan went out and said he'd rather take Kobe because rings matter. So then LeBron said, well, rings shouldn't matter, so I'm going to take Bill Russell over Michael.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such a tough. I mean, it's such a tough way of rating people when it comes to rings, MVPs. Because I mean, some of the all-time greats didn't win a single ring. I personally think the Reggie Miller is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Charles Barkley.
Exactly. The mailman. You know.
Yep.
These are just three people that we just named that are three of the all-time greats. And I don't think anyone that knows basketball would remotely question that. Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, even Patrick Ewing.
You know.
Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream, he got his 2 rings because MJ was retired.
Yeah, I mean, and we could even go over to football and talk about Dan Marino. I mean, he never won a single ring, and he's in almost everybody's top 5 quarterbacks of all time list.
Yeah, look at Brett Favre, the greatest heel quarterback to ever play the game.
One of my all-time favorites.
Oh yes,
and I'm not afraid to say that either.
Yeah, one of these podcasts we'll get into the story about how he became the hashtag heel.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we'll have to. It's a great story.
Yeah, won Super Bowl, but he found himself one interception too short in the title games, but still go down as one of the greatest ever.
I mean, Joe Flacco, the current champion. I wouldn't take him over like 15 quarterbacks that I can think of right now of all time. And he's got a ring. I mean, he's got a ring. I'd take Dan Marino over him today, probably. You know, I mean, Dan Marino's one of the greatest ever. Joe Flacco, I'm not saying he's horrible, but he's not an elite quarterback. And I know there's Raven fans that are going to get on me for that, but I couldn't care less. And that's my opinion.
No, basically, Anquan Bolden pretty much got him that payday.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that rings. It's hard to say. I think the rings matter, but they don't matter as. I mean, the rings matter, but it's not all that matters.
No, because it's like saying Adam Morrison. He set an bench for the Lakers for their 2 title back-to-back wins, so that made him better than LeBron James because he had 2 rings.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, if we go by rings, you know who else is? I mean, there's a lot of people that's better than LeBron. I mean, God, Big Shot Bob. You were talking about him. He's way better than LeBron at that point.
That means he's better than Jordan.
Yeah, he is. He's got one more, so that's Big Shot Bob.
Yep. So that's been my argument from day one.
Right.
I don't think rings define you as a player unless if LeBron were to go to 3 NBA Finals and choke in all 3, then I could see what people would be talking about. But he completely took that whole playoff series over from that Indiana game to the Boston game. He was just on a whole nother level.
Yeah. We got a little extra time here, a few more minutes. Do you want to talk about the one-on-one between Jordan and LeBron, like a little bit more about how they say that Jordan will win 10 out of 10 and stuff, since we have a little bit more time?
Yeah, I don't think that. I think it would go 6-4 or they would split 5-5. But I think LeBron would beat him. LeBron is bigger than him, stronger than him, faster than him. He can jump higher than him. His post game already, because of training with Hakeem, is out of this world. Jordan has a better jumper, always has, probably always will. But the whole thing is, it's the James train. Yeah. And when you hear that James train a tootin', ask Jason Terry.
Exactly.
Rest in peace, Jason Terry, because you got posterized, boy.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing, though, is how big of a mismatch that is. I mean, I honestly don't think it's fair to compare the two.
No, it's
not. And for the record, the only reason we are is because everyone does, and we're just saying our opinion about it. But I don't think it's fair to compare them. I mean, LeBron's got 60 pounds on Jordan. He's got 3 inches on Jordan. He's got way more muscle. I mean, Jordan was a strong guy. He did buff up and stuff toward the second half of his career, but I just think it's not fair. That's like having let's have a dunk contest. I wonder who would win. I mean, this is just as ridiculous. Let's have Vince Carter go against Steve Nash dunk contest. Because they're such similar. They're so similar. They're size wise. Their vertical leap is so much. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's the whole point where everyone that Jordan is on this pedestal where nobody in the world could touch him. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
I personally don't like him because I think he's a jackass, and I think he's a prick, more or less.
Huh.
That's my opinion of Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Gotcha. You never were a fan, huh?
Oh, never was.
Never was.
Always. Yep. I was Magic all the way.
Yeah, I grew up a Laker guy. Lakers, Kobe, Shaq, a huge Shaq guy. He's my favorite center of all time. I'd take him today over most of the centers today. But we have one other thing I want to talk about. We only have like 2 minutes here, really quickly. The dunk contest, and I want to say my opinion on it real quick. LeBron James is not scared of a dunk contest. The reason get him actually someone worth facing in a dunk contest, and he might actually do it. Would you think Michael Jordan would do a dunk contest if it was against people that no one knew who they were, people that get 5 minutes of PT a game?
Yeah, basically
he has nothing to win and everything to lose.
Yeah,
because everyone would talk. Oh, did you see LeBron lose to this guy or that guy? Oh, who is that guy? I don't know who it is. Some no-name guy just beat LeBron. I mean, it's ridiculous.
The equivalent of the Pro Bowl. It's Genetti now. Nobody cares about it.
Exactly. It's ridiculous to me that people would say that he's scared. I wouldn't do a dunk contest if I was LeBron unless it was against all-stars, You don't see Kobe. I mean, obviously Kobe's older now, and I'm not trying to say Kobe should do a dunk contest. He clearly, but I mean, he clearly could probably still do it because he can still dunk. He can dunk like a champ, but he had one of the best dunks this year. But LeBron, if they had Blake Griffin and they had just name anyone who's anybody when it comes to having dunk skill. You know what I mean? If they have maybe the returning champ from last year, because this, and not by last year I mean last year, not this past dunk contest. Because this last dunk contest was by far the worst I've ever seen. And bring in Blake Griffin obviously, and just bring in a few other guys, and then let's say they have like 3 or 4 other all-stars on the lineup, and then LeBron doesn't do it, especially after Magic Johnson offered $1 million for charity. Then people can start talking. But until they have a lineup worthy of LeBron James, people just need to shut up and leave him alone.
I agree.
Oh, this has been the Sports Guys podcast. You can follow us at SportsGuys247. Just hit that little subscribe button if you want to, and we will talk to you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Woo! I've got the style and profile.
This behind yo. Pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a cop try to ticket you, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a fan gets an attitude, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. I make $7 million a year, everybody watch me score. Don't play unless I want, cause I'm number 84.
Who says I won't walk off the field again? Who says I won't? Because the realness hurts. The truth hurts. I keep it real.
From the Green Bay 34, play clock down to 3. Dante gets off the play, takes a snap, rolls out to the right. Moss, wide open. He burned out Harris. Touchdown!
And profile like never before. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be a little NBA and a little NCAA college basketball talk, and we're going to start off with the Los Angeles Lakers. RJ, what's going to happen with the Lakers?
What's going to happen with the Lakers? I think that we're going to barely make the playoffs, and we're going to be. I don't want this to happen, but I think we're going out the first round.
You think it's going to be a sweep, or you guys going to make up?
I think we'll probably win 1 or 2, but it's not. We're not going to be. I mean, there's just so many injuries. This whole season's been hard for a Laker fan like myself. I mean, Kobe Bryant don't have too many years left, and I know he wants to get that last ring, and I want him to get that ring so badly. And this whole year's just been. If it wasn't communication issues, when I heard that Steve Nash was coming, I was so happy. And when I heard that D12 was coming, I was like, how did this happen? You know what I mean? It was like a dream at the time. In theory, I was like, it's going to be like Shaq and Kobe all over again. And it's been nothing close to Shaq and Kobe. For just starters, D12 will never be as good as Shaq. That's just the facts. And anyone here that listens to this says Dwight Howard's, the best center of all time or something ridiculous like that, they're delusional. I think that D12's great. He probably is the best center in the league now, especially now that Andrew Bynum and his knees are injured. Because I always thought Andrew Bynum was neck and neck with Howard, as close as anyone could get. And I mean, there's not that many great centers in the league, So saying he's the number one center in the league is not that hard to say, and it's probably the truth, Tyson Chandler's probably the only other guy that comes to mind for me. And I think that the Lakers just had a rough start. They just couldn't sync together as a team. And then all the injuries that came, Paul Gasol, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant's been injured off and on all season. He is still dealing with an ankle injury. It's been reported that man, he walks off the court, but he uses crutches to get in the bus. I mean, he's not. You realize how much pain he's probably in. He's probably taking crazy shots every day in the ankle because that ankle is not. It's not a minor sprain. That is a severe sprain. Anyone that's seen Kobe Bryant's ankle, any of the X-rays, that is something that anyone else. If that was not Kobe Bryant, anyone else would not be playing right now. They would just wipe their hands with it, and I guess hopefully next season. You know what I mean? But Kobe Bryant is. I mean, anyone can say they don't like the Lakers, and if you're a Celtics fan, that's what it is. But no one can say that Kobe Bryant's not one of the toughest basketball players of all time. That man will play with a broken wrist if he could. You know what I mean? If he can get that ball up in the air, he's playing. And I honestly, I hope the Lakers do better than that. But what I'm thinking right now is they will be out the first round. I pray and hope that's not the case, but it's just looking bad. I mean, we had a game with the Bucks. We had the last 2 or 3 games it just didn't look that good, And D12's a lot of the problem, but when I say he's a lot of problem, he was a lot of the problem for the first half of the season. I think he's doing a lot better now. It seems like he's a lot more happy, he's smiling and stuff while he's playing, even though they're losing sometimes. But it's just as good as they're doing now, which is not that great, but they're doing better compared to the first half of the season. They're doing fantastic, other than injuries. But as good as they could be doing, I just think that if they face it, because if they're 8th, they'll be facing the first seed, right? And I mean, if they'll be facing who's the first seed right now? Let me think.
It's gonna be OKC or San Antonio. Probably.
Yeah, I was thinking San Antonio. If they face San Antonio, they there's no way they're getting past San Antonio. Yeah. It's just, it'd be all cool for me because I'm a Laker guy, but there is no way they're getting past San Antonio, especially with Kobe Bryant's injury. I mean, honestly, if he's playing with an injury like he is right now, that injury's not gonna really heal that much while he's still on that ankle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's something that's not going to go away by playoffs, is what I'm saying. And for that reason, without Kobe Bryant, the Lakers aren't going anywhere. And I mean, people can say that D12 is the face of the team in the future. D12 on the Lakers is going to be not much different than D12 on the Magic, especially when Steve Nash retires, Kobe's gone. I mean, D12's going to have a lot more help than just him. If D12's the face of the Lakers are not going to be a playoff championship team again for quite a long time.
Yeah, it's like every time it seems that they've got it together, some injury happens, like Meta World Peace surgery out 6 weeks. Paul Gasol just comes back. Kobe gets hurt. Nash gets hurt.
Oh,
it's just it's one after another.
Oh, and another thing, it's funny as it sounds, they play so much better when there's only one big man out there because D'Antoni cannot coach these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was the biggest mistake to get D'Antoni.
I think if Phil Jackson was there, they would have had a way better season. But like I said, I'm a Phil Jackson guy though, so take that with a grain of salt. But I just think that, I mean, when Paul Gasol was out, they were playing great. I mean, they weren't winning every game, but comparing to what's going on now, they were playing great.
Yeah, like I said in the podcast when we were talking with the Lakers, for the recipe for them to win, Kobe can't be the leading scorer.
Yeah,
he's got to fill up the stat sheet. He's got to be a near triple double every night.
Yeah, I mean, he has to. I mean, the thing is, Kobe. It always comes down to Kobe, and it's always either hit or miss. The last, if they're down by 5 or something, it's always the Kobe. There's no one else that they can rely on that team, though. It's the Los Angeles Kobe's. Let's be honest,
Yeah, that's the whole thing. He either trusts or he doesn't. It shouldn't be like that though. It should not be one guy
has to have, they have to have a great day. If they have an off day, their team loses, and that's not the way it should be. It should be a team. It shouldn't have to be one person. It's not Kobe's fault. It's not Kobe's fault that he's the only, well, not the only, but the best player on the team. He's the only guy that they can rely on. They sure as heck can't rely on Meta World Peace. I mean, the idea that they throw the ball out to him in the arc is. I mean, Meta World Peace is not that great of a three-point shooter. Let's be honest. I see him miss so many more than he makes. But Kobe still passes it out to him all the time, and I think that's one problem with the team is Meta World Peace. He's a great defender, but he can't shoot. He really can't shoot that well. Pau Gasol's a great power forward when he's healthy and when he's used right. But with this whole season, with the coaching of D'Antoni, Pau Gasol has been pretty much he's not there. I mean, where's Pau Gasol? He hasn't done anything all season really.
Yeah, with him being injured and everything.
I mean, heck, even Snowflake Blake. I mean, he or Steve Blake. He had surgery this year. Didn't he have surgery on his stomach or something? I mean, everybody's been under the knife this season. It seems like it's crazy. And then Dwight Howard's going to have surgery on that shoulder next, but before next season and stuff. And he just got off of back surgery. The man still has numbness in his legs. I mean, the Lakers they're pretty much in the rebuilding stage right now. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
the only thing keeping them in the playoff even contention is the fact that Kobe Bryant's there. Once Kobe Bryant's gone, the Lakers are not going to be the Lakers anymore. I hate the idea of that, but that's just the way it's looking.
Well, there's always free agents. There's Chris Paul next year if you don't resign Dwight, or if you just invest your money in Dwight Howard and Chris Paul, and hopefully LeBron comes there after he opts out.
Oh man, that'd be fantastic.
They said that
that's like the best case scenario for the Lakers.
Yeah, they said it's between Miami, Cleveland, and 1% of the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, if I think honestly, LeBron switching over to the Heat, I think LeBron's going nowhere. Usually, when a man wins or when a player wins a championship with a team, he usually goes out of his way to try to stay at that team. And
I think
especially because D Wade's not going anywhere. We know D Wade's staying. If D Wade's staying, LeBron's staying.
Yeah, it'd be a big mistake for him to leave.
Yeah.
I think, Cleveland.
Especially if he went anywhere besides Cleveland. But, I mean, on a fan standpoint, people would understand him going back to Cleveland. But if he goes to Lakers or something like that, he'd just be even more hated than he is now.
Yeah.
But no matter what, it's a mistake to go anywhere besides. He just needs to stay where he's at.
Yeah, it's going to be funny if he does go back to Cleveland and how many, we always loved you, we always loved you, we didn't burn your jersey.
No, we didn't just burn tons of your jerseys and stuff. Just like Dwight Howard, the open their arms wide open, like, give Dwight Howard a huge hug and bring him right back in. Even though, we didn't have, we didn't take the H off your name and have Coward shirts, Dwight Coward shirts or nothing. Oh, no, those jerseys never existed. What are you talking about?
Yep, and then, the Lakers have been up in a couple games, and they've choked at the end.
They ran out of gas, man. The Lakers. The biggest problem with the Lakers, other than everything I mentioned, another problem they got is just they're an aging team, and
as soon as they signed Steve Nash, that was their biggest mistake.
Yeah, I mean he's getting paid too. He's getting paid good.
Oh yeah. Well, we got Brennan Jennings here in Milwaukee, and he's from Compton, California, and this is his last year in his contract, so he's not restricted. So anything that a team offers him, we can match it. But he's already talking about that he would try harder to play for an elite team. Like, you're in the middle of a playoff push. Who says that?
Yeah, I don't know.
And because he gets benched, because he scored 0 points going into the fourth quarter. What do you expect?
Yeah,
and he's calling out his team. He's saying, "Oh, there's no max deal guys here. There's no all stars here, so don't treat me any differently." Man, I hope he leaves, and I bet you he goes to LA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd want him on LA, to be honest with you. I mean, so someone like that, I really wouldn't want on my team at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because he's going to whine there too. What's he going to have in his contract? He has to have so many touches a game or something.
Yeah,
so many guaranteed minutes.
He's a player. That's all he is. He'll be a point guard one night, and then he'll have to be a shooting guard the next and shoot you out of the lead.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He's got to have like the guaranteed last few touches of the game. Like if you got to hit a buzzer beater, you got to give it straight to him. It's like part of his contract. Are you? I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know why anyone would sign a contract to a certain player to have guaranteed things like that.
He's got the Hogan incentives.
I mean, the only way I would ever sign a contract, something like that, you have to like guarantee me like 70% of the time you'll make that guaranteed shot. If I got to guarantee you the ball, you got to guarantee you're going to do it. Otherwise, you don't get that guarantee. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going to happen with LA. They're going to be big players in free agency, I assume.
Yeah, Chris Paul would be a dream.
Yeah, but like, if you're Chris Paul, why would you leave the Clippers when you already got you're right there?
I mean, he ain't really going to have to change much. They have probably the same locker and everything. So.
Yeah, if I was Chris Paul, I think I would re-up with Dunk City and just do it there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could. I mean, the Clippers are a good team. They really are, but I don't think they're at that same level as the Miami Heat, as the Spurs, as and not even OKC. I think they're like the Globetrotters of basketball.
Yeah,
they're all about things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a shame to see the streak end, but it was worse off that it was those crybaby Bulls.
Yeah.
I cannot. And then all of a sudden, the Chicago Bulls fans come out of the closets, come out of the ground. Oh, we're so much Bulls fans. I cannot stand it. If you're a Bulls fan, how can you even cheer for him? You got a crybaby superstar who is cleared to play, but yet he still won't play.
He's not mentally cleared, Nick. He's not mentally cleared.
You know what? I'm paying you millions of dollars. You better be mentally on that court.
He needs to be physically on the court.
Yeah, you better be on that court.
But he's not mentally ready,
Well, you know what he needs to do? He needs to take the tampon out.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you cannot be mentally ready. I mean, the thing is, it's not like it's a week ago that he was cleared. He's been cleared for like 2 months now.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson's just laughing probably.
Oh, can you imagine Peyton Manning? I mean, how many surgeries that man had, and he didn't have to get mentally cleared. You know why? Because Peyton Manning's one of the best football minds of all time. Like that man. That man knew he was ready to come back before the surgery was even done.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It just separates the weak from the strong. It really does. You think Michael Jordan would have to get mentally ready to come back? I don't think so.
It's sad, really. Your team's in the playoffs, and you don't want to help them. You don't want to.
And Derrick Rose, he was and probably still is a great player. It's just that he's just mentally. If he's mentally not prepared, that means he's just a mentally weak individual.
Exactly.
I mean, God, any of the real greats don't need to get mentally ready to come back. They're ready to come back. Shaq was always ready to come back. Karl Malone would be ready to come back. The real greats of basketball don't need to get mentally in the zone to come back and help your team, especially when your team's doing good without you.
Yeah,
maybe he's just mentally not ready for it because maybe he feels like he won't be the star of the team anymore or something. I mean, when your team's doing this, the Bulls are already playoff contenders. They're one of the best defenses in the league, and they don't have Derrick Rose. I mean, if they're doing that well without you, you should at least come back and help your team.
Yeah, if I was his teammate, I'd be questioning him every time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is.
Where's your head at? Where's your loyalty? Is your loyalty because you have sponsors that you don't want to get hurt, so you don't lose your sponsorship, or what? That'd be my biggest question. You don't want to help us achieve all of our dreams of winning a championship? You don't want to do that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just can't believe like I'm mad the streak's over, but it's bad and it's good in a way because it just makes Miami even hungrier and madder. LeBron played mad last night. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. The fouls they did on I don't want to really talk much about the Bulls game, but the fouls they did on LeBron were ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then, people were saying those aren't fouls. When you're pretty much hugging a guy so he can't James train you, that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. All Kirk Heinrich did was grab him and throw him to the ground.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to injure him.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. Let's just say what it is. They are trying to injure him. They're trying to get him out of the game.
Yeah, and then finally LeBron gets mad like I've been wanting him to fight off.
Why would you want to make someone that? He's probably the strongest guy in the league. Why would you want to make him mad?
I just don't know.
I think he's. I mean, if there's anyone that's stronger than LeBron James, it's Dwight Howard. Other than that, there's no one that's stronger than LeBron James.
I would definitely agree with that.
So I mean that's ridiculous. I would not want a 6'8", brick wall mad at me, especially when he can just sit there and hit you with the sickest charge in the world.
Yeah,
You know?
I love to see him get angry like that because teams, all they do is take cheap shot after cheap shot after cheap shot after cheap shot after him. Isaiah Thomas said before that, even before the New Orleans game, that LeBron needs to start doing that more because people are taking advantage of him. If the refs aren't going to call it, then just do it.
Yeah, that's what they need to do.
Because once playoff basketball starts, you're gonna see that every single game. You're gonna see him going after you like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though, and if you make LeBron mad, it's gonna be bad for whatever team he's facing.
Woo! I've got to stop and profile.
Gets behind yo. Pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a cop try to ticket you, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a fan gets an attitude, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. I make $7 million a year, everybody watch me score. Don't play unless I want, cause I'm number 84.
Who says I won't walk off the field again? Who says I won't? Because the realness hurts. The truth hurts. I keep it real.
10 from the Green Bay 34. Play clock down to 3. Dante gets off the play. Takes a snap. Rolls out to the right. Moss wide open. He burned out Harris. Touchdown!
And profile like never before. But to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey guys, this is Nick and RJ coming back with another podcast. This one's going to be mostly football, basketball, a little bit of baseball, all mixed in. The first thing I want to jump into is the recent contracts. There has been 3 huge deals that got done all in one day. There's another one that's in the works. And then I want to talk about Des Bryant's ridiculous comments. The first thing is, RJ, how do you feel about the Tony Romo contract?
Tony Romo is one of the guys that it's hard for me to say anything positive about him, honestly. I'm just not a fan of him. I think it says a lot. I have a friend that's a real big Tony Romo fan, so, he just have a whole different opinion than I do, but I think it says a lot about a quarterback when your own, I guess the Dallas Cowboy Nation or whatever, the fans of the team, when they say, I know Cowboys fans that say stuff like, we love the Cowboys, but we hate our quarterback. And just the idea of your own fans hating your quarterback I think that says a lot about the quarterback. Sanchez is the same way.
Yeah, like me as a Bears fan, everyone hates Cutler. I love Cutler.
Yeah. Well, I think Cutler's a heck of a lot better quarterback than Tony Romo.
Well, I'll break down the contract. It goes 6 years. It can exceed $108 million.
Yeah.
He just got more guaranteed money than Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Romo well. Million, and Flacco gets $51 million.
See, that's a really tough place for me right there because I think Flacco's probably one of the most useless quarterbacks for that price. And I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people. I'm not saying he's a horrible quarterback, but he's far from elite. And
that's for sure.
But I mean, would I take either one of them over someone like Andrew Luck or something? No, there's no way in the world. And I mean, has Andrew Luck done really much yet? Obviously not, but he did have a great first season. And I would, I'm clearly biased on this conversation right now because I'm a Colts fan, but
yeah. Well, me personally, I see where the Cowboys are coming from, but it's so hard to find that quarterback. It's not like they can go
that's true.
It's a perfect example. There's no gems in there.
I mean, Tony Romo's probably the best bet for them right now, but I just don't. The Cowboys aren't going anywhere. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, right now is a time that really sucks to be a Cowboys fan. Just like it sucked to be a Colts fan 2 years ago when we had one of the worst records ever.
Yeah, and then along with the Cowboys, you got Des Bryant saying that I'm going to get 2,000 yards receiving. Me. You guys, why don't you worry about getting in the playoffs?
Yeah.
This whole me thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. They call them America's team. And I mean, if that's America's team, America's not doing too well, because...
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at Calvin Johnson last year. He broke the receiving yards record. What did that get him?
Yeah. I'd take Stafford over Romo any day of the week, though.
Well, yeah. It's just, Des Bryant, I think that he's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
Definitely, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I could say that, but it's just him still not at that stage of him putting the team before his individual awards.
Yeah, I like Miles Austin too on the Cowboys.
Yeah, and then you got Jason Witten there. How do you think you're going to get 2,000 yards? You throw the ball 70 times a game, and that means you're going to be down, and that means you're not going to be winning your division, making the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, what'd they finish last year? 8-8.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't know because they lost the last game of the season. The Redskins, they got murdered.
Yeah, they really did.
It was to get in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I see where they are, but the Cowboys got a really ridiculous owner too. I mean, he's crazy. He's loony.
He treats him like a fantasy team.
Yeah, he's loony. He's really loony. But I mean, Tony Romo. There's people that will sit there and and say, oh, he's great and stuff. And there's other people that will trash him. I'm not trashing him, but I'm just saying I don't think he's worth the money that they're paying him. But if you compare it to Flacco, you might as well. That kind of justifies it when you compare it to Flacco, who's definitely. I mean, okay. What I'm basically saying is I would pay Romo before I'd pay Flacco that kind of money.
Yeah, basically, Daquan Bolden got Flacco that money.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
And yeah, he got him that money. Then he's just not on the team anymore. It's real great.
Yeah, and then since I live in Green Bay, I'm working on a new deal with Aaron Rodgers.
Now, if these guys are worth anywhere near the money, if they're giving money like $100 million to these guys, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tony Romo and Joe Flacco combined.
Yeah, they're looking at really $25 million a year.
Oh, I mean, he's I would pay him whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I mean, God.
If someone was worth that, he would. But I think that's just outrageous to pay someone.
Well, it's going to get worse and worse every year. I want more money than Peyton got 10 years ago. I want more money than this guy got 5 years ago. I mean, that's it's all about breaking records, being the highest paid ever. That's what they all want.
Yeah.
But if anyone's worth the highest contract in the NFL, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Yeah, I go for quarterback ranking. I'd probably go Rodgers, Brady, Peyton, Breeze. I think right now, that's me right now.
We wouldn't put Michael Vick in there, huh? Oh, man. You wouldn't put Michael Vick in there if it was, obviously if it was years ago you would, but not now. But, I don't know. Michael Vick is somebody that I'm not going to say he's lost. He just had a bad season, We'll see. This year we'll say a lot about him. He just had a bad season last year.
Yeah, well, they had no offensive line. What do you expect the guy to do? You could have Peyton Manning back there. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Vick did what he could. I mean, he's obviously getting older, but funny thing is, I'd take Michael Vick over Tony Romo. I'd take Michael Vick over the God Joe Flacco too. I don't care.
Oh man.
Yeah,
if the season were to start right now, pick your Super Bowl teams.
Pick my Super Bowl. Oh, Denver Broncos.
Yep. Who are they gonna play?
Shoot. That's that. I just 49ers.
Yep. See, I think after the draft we'll be able to tell a lot more because my whole thing is it's Denver or New England versus it's gonna be one of those two representing the AFC.
Yeah.
Again, it's either going to be Green Bay, Seattle, or San Fran, all depending on the draft, what Green Bay does in the draft. If they get a running back, if they fix their offensive line problem. Their defense is sketchy at best. They got no pass rush, and teams just sit back there and pick them apart and expect Rodgers to score 60, 70 points a game.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, Aaron Rodgers is no doubt in my mind the top of the list, Like I said, I'm biased. Obviously, I'd put Peyton over him because I'm a Peyton Manning guy. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a Peyton Manning guy through and through. And I mean, Peyton had a fantastic season last year. He really did. And if we have more of that this year, I haven't been more mad at a football game than when they faced the Ravens and they went for that QB kneel with so many seconds left to go, like 30-something seconds left to go into overtime. You got arguably the greatest regular season quarterback of all time, and you don't take a chance at it. I thought that was horrible.
Yeah, that game was really depressing.
Yeah,
I was
but
hoping to see a Denver New England rematch.
you know what team I think's on the rise, and I mean I'm not saying on the rise as in playoff status, but on the rise as in just progress from the last few years is the Bengals.
Yeah, if the Red Rifle is hopefully he hasn't peaked. Hopefully this isn't all he can muster.
Oh, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
They need another complimentary wide receiver with AJ Green, because I know that Sanu, he's hurt all last year, but they're saying that's going to be their number 2. They got Gresham, who, if he wouldn't have tore his ACL in college, would have been a top 10 pick, and they stole him.
Yeah.
The defense is good. They re-signed, I think they re-signed one of their quarterbacks. I forgot which one they did, but they just re-signed him for a 2 or 3 year deal.
Yeah, you know what they could use right now, right? They could use Chad Ochocinco right about now.
Oh yes.
That would make a big difference. Yeah. Oh yeah, call T. Yeah, we call the T.O. show. The T.O. show. Bring them both back.
Yeah. You know what the best division in football is going to be in the next 5 years?
Oh, who's that?
The NFC West.
You think so?
Oh yeah, St. Louis is going to be. They're going to be a powerhouse. With Jeff Fisher as their coach, they do nothing but draft good players. That defense already is just nasty defense. And you got Fran's defense, Seattle's defense. If Russell Wilson's plays, then that whole division is going to be up in the air.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about coaches, and I got a question for you real quick then. Who do you personally think is the best coach in the NFL? Head coach.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick? Yeah, I was going to say the genius as well. Bill Belichick.
There's no argument there.
No.
You just say his name, and that just says dynasty.
It really does. Bill Belichick to me is the Phil Jackson of football.
Yep.
That's just my opinion on it, and I 100% agree with you.
Yep. Yeah, I got to put Mike McCarthy's up there just for what he's doing with that team, but I would have to Mike Tomlin's in there.
Okay, what about this? Would you take Bill Belichick or Vince Lombardi?
Oh, I don't know. Different time.
Yeah. You think Vince Lombardi, though, I think he could adapt to today and be a fantastic coach?
No, just because of the way all the defense changes.
Yeah.
All the tic-tac stuff, all that stuff.
Can we talk about the new rule they made with the head tuck thing and stuff?
I actually wanted to talk about that, too.
Yeah, Go ahead and tell me what you think of it first, real quick, if you want.
I think it's moronic. I think it's just dumb. If you're a running back, if you got a guy on your left side and a guy on your right side, you can't lower your helmet to save you from a huge impact. So basically, they made a rule to try to prevent people from being injured, but the rule's gonna help people get injured. It makes no sense.
Well, I just think that so many of the rules they make these days is kind of ridiculous. I mean, you can't even touch the quarterback without having some type of penalty.
Yeah, just put a red jersey on him.
I mean, it's insane to me. I mean, just the smallest things and just the smallest touch. I mean, it's going to turn into was it going to turn into flag football or something soon? Two hand touch. Like as soon as you touch them, that's it. They're considered down. Like it's ridiculous. Some of the rules they're doing. I mean, and one of the biggest draws in football is, at least it's been that way for the last 20, 30, 40 years, is the hits. People want to see people get rocked. Exactly. Remember Ray Lewis back in the day? I mean, Ray Lewis rocked people. That's what got him, into stardom was those hits that he used to do. You know?
I think if you're going to take on that contract and the teams are going to be paying you millions and millions, you need to sign a waiver. I will never sue the NFL. I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
And it is over like that. You're getting paid ridiculous amount of money to play a game.
Uh-huh.
You know what's going to happen. You know what could happen. But yet you want to play out your career, blow all your money, and then sue the NFL so you can get more money.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, the concussion thing last year was huge.
Yeah,
I mean, Austin Collie on the Colts, I think he got 3 concussions last year. It was insane.
Oh, that's Mr. Concussion.
He's just like Mr. IR. Remember Mr. IR? Colonel Sanders, Bob Sanders.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was Mr. IR, dude.
Mr. IR, Mike Brown.
There's always a new Mr. IR every year, but it's funny. The concussion thing, it's always been around, but since they highlighted it, that's all they talk about every year now is the concussions. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely illnesses that happen, and you gotta protect yourself. But I mean, when you think about it, more than less, most of the the football players that have played for the last 20, 30 years, most of them are okay. You know.
Yeah, a lot of them, like Jim McMahon, for example, his wife has to program his address in his GPS because he'll forget where he lives. They did a whole story on him on ESPN.
that is terrible. That really is, but
yeah.
But I mean, he might forget where he lives, but when he gets there, he realizes he has a giant mansion right there. So
yeah, there's people on like that ESPN First Take with Skip Bayless. There's I forgot what his name is, but he said he's one of the guys in the lawsuit, and they're like, well, if you knew what you do now, would you do it all over again? Yeah, I'd do it all over again. So how are you suing? I
don't get it. They're just trying to get more money, I guess.
Exactly, and I think it's wrong. I think it's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. Speaking of Skip Bayless, I honestly think that he's probably the best analyst around, honestly, in my opinion. I think Skip Bayless is probably the one guy that just says, how he feels and tells it like it is.
Yeah, but I hated him for so long.
Did you? For the LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, other than LeBron stuff, I've always agreed with him. I really have. He's a Tom Brady guy too, so I bet you like that.
Very, very much so. But he's the guy that you love to hate because he's the heel of ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, even if I don't agree with him, and there's things that I don't agree with, he says, but I don't ever take it personal from him because he's the one guy that will say whatever he thinks. It's not about the popular decision. It's not about anything else. It's just what he thinks, and sometimes he's right, sometimes he's not. But I think that's what makes him probably the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like him. I love Stephen A. just because I'm such a big NBA guy, and that's how he lives for basketball.
But I don't like Stephen A. that much because everyone's a dear friend of his. Everyone's a great, and no matter who they're talking about, he's like, my good friend. He always has to put over that he's the friend of everybody that he talks about, and that just aggravates me.
NBA guys, it's all stuff like that, especially guys because he's been around and he's done so much stuff.
He's definitely good at what he does. It's just I just prefer Skip Bayless a lot more than him.
I like it that it's just those two, and I don't mind having them having like a little celebrity, but a lot of the times it's guys that don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, they bring people on there like a talk show. They'll come on there just to promote their movie real quick.
Yeah.
Like Steve Carell was on there a couple weeks ago.
Yep, I saw that.
And stuff, and he actually sounded like he knew a little bit of what he was talking about, at least. He's a Boston guy, and he was talking. So do you remember when First Take didn't have like the Kerry Champion on it though? It was just them two.
Yep.
I mean, do you like it better with having the Kerry Champion on there? To go back and forth.
I liked it better when they had the original guy on there.
Did you?
From Cleveland.
You know who I like to see on there while you're thinking of that? I like to see Shaq O'Neal on there.
Oh yeah,
because he would be great.
Chad Johnson on there.
Chad
Johnson. He goes on there a lot.
Yeah, I mean, well, he knows what he's talking about too.
Yeah, but he likes to put Skip in his place too.
Yeah, that part I don't like.
He's another guy. He'll say what's on his mind, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I like what he says it was on mine, but some people really. I have somebody who was on there. Who was it? Did you see the episode? It was, I forget the dude's name, but I think he's off the. Was he off the Seahawks? He was on there last week or 2 weeks ago, and he was.
Richard Sherman. I love Richard Sherman.
Dude, Richard Sherman was super hating on Skip Bayless.
Oh yeah, because Skip Bayless was hating on him. That's why.
Yeah, but God, he took it a little too far, man. He was like crazy. He's crazy hating on Skip Bayless. But the thing is, every time Skip Bayless would ask him a question, it made him look idiotic because he would like go out of his way not to answer Skip Bayless's question, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah, because he said he's not going to give him the fact of the whole thing that he was calling Richard Sherman out, saying that he's not the best quarterback.
Yeah.
Which proved that he is the best quarterback. This year was better than any Darrelle Revis year that Darrelle Revis ever had.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about football, I'm gonna switch the subject on you real quick. All right. Tim Tebow. What do you think's gonna happen with him?
I think he needs to get on a different team and play quarterback.
All right. Well, before we get into the actual Tim Tebow subject, go ahead and tell us, because I know you're a big Tim Tebow guy. Tell us a little bit about what you think of Tim Tebow.
I think he is what's awesome about the NFL. I think they need more people like him to fire a team up. That team that he took, the Broncos, that Bud Bundy, a.k.a. Kyle Orton, couldn't get a win with. He took them to the playoffs, being the number one defense, and people said he couldn't throw the ball. He was the number one fourth quarter rated quarterback in the NFL. His quarterback rating was number one out of everybody, out of Brady, out of Rodgers, out of Manning. Well, Manning didn't play that year. Out of Breeze, you name it, he was better. He brought that team, won the division, beat the Steelers, threw for over 300 yards passing, no turnovers. He's smart with the football. Yeah, he's not accurate. Steve Young wasn't accurate, and look at him.
Yeah. What do you say to the people that say he should be tight end instead of quarterback?
I think it's dumb.
I think so. Do you think he could be a great tight end, though?
I don't know. He's been playing quarterback his whole life, so...
Yeah, I honestly think that Tim Tebow's probably one of the most hated quarterbacks around, though, crazy as it sounds.
Yep,
I run into... For every one Tim Tebow fan I run into 9 people that hate him.
Yep, I'll defend him until he retires.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of his, nor am I don't hate him. I just, he just doesn't really matter to me. You know what I mean?
I think the whole reason people hate him is just because he wears his Christianity on his sleeve.
Yeah,
and I think it's.
I mean, I can see where people can find fakeness in that. You know what I mean? I can see where people would judge him and be like, this is all for publicity and stuff. But, I mean, I see the same thing with Ray Lewis. I felt the same way with Ray Lewis. Part of me was, I wasn't saying it, like, out loud or, saying it to people, but part of me in the back of my mind was thinking, Ray Lewis, this seems a little fake to me, all this religion stuff. I mean, I can see where people would get that, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and judge the guy because you don't know if it's real or not, You don't know if it's genuine.
Yeah, well, like, he's been doing it since college. His parents were missionaries.
Mm-hmm.
He was on his summers off, he was going with them. He was doing circumcisions on kids in third world countries.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's obviously a lot more to him than, he's got his dark side like everybody else, but he does a good job not showing it. I think people would probably like him more, sad as it sounds, but if he showed his dark side a little bit.
And I think he should. I really think he should. I think he should be he should be harder on the reporters that question him about anything.
Yeah.
I think we need to see a little heel turn.
see him come out there and just go heel on him. Man, start referring to himself in the third person. Oh, Tebow don't like that. Tebow goes out on the field when Tebow wants to go out on the field.
Start talking. Let him hang out the rock.
I'd be a fan of him. I tell you that if he did that, I'd be a fan of him. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not a fan of his, but neither I'm not a hater of his either. It just doesn't matter to me either way, really.
Yeah, and like going past that, the whole NFL free agency and the NFL talk about Roger Goodell wants the NFL talked about 24/7, 365, like it's not already.
Oh,
he wants to push back the draft till May.
God,
and all that stuff. I think it's fine how it is. I think it's crazy that it's primetime Thursday nights for the draft, but again, I watch it every time it's on. So
yeah, who do you think's going first this season this year?
I don't know. I think Kansas City is still going to take that left tackle and trade theirs because they franchise them because. They traded for Alex Smith, so there's no need. They're not going to draft Geno Smith.
That was a good trade too, by the way. I think Alex Smith is was just not used, properly. I think he can be a fantastic quarterback.
Oh yeah, you can't really expect much from a guy who's had a different offensive coordinator every single season of his NFL career.
Yeah, I think I was one of the only people in the world that was yelling, "Put Alex Smith in at halftime" at the Super Bowl last year. I was like super tweeting that and everything. I was like, "Please put Alex Smith in."
Yeah, I don't know. Well, all the defensive coordinators say that whole read option thing was probably it's the flavor of the day. It's like they almost say it's like the Wildcat, but guys like RG3, guys like Russell Wilson, they can throw. They're accurate. I don't know about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, speaking of Colin Kaepernick, how many people jumped on the Kaepernick wagon last year?
Oh, man.
There's so many 49er fans now. It's almost like watching the Bulls all of a sudden. For some reason, there's tons of Bulls fans now, too. But, God, there's just so many Kaepernick guys.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, heck, this time last year, I had no idea who that man was. You know what I mean? Like, what's a Kaepernick? I would think it's like a really bad beverage of some sort. You know?
I saw him a little bit playing college at Nevada. He looked good in college, but then again, what amazing read option quarterback.
I mean, Vince Young looked fantastic in college.
Yeah,
you know, he was like one of the best in college too.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tom Brady, one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he was underlooked in college. You know, he was underlooked.
Oh man,
he was underlooked.
Yeah.
I mean, when was he drafted? What round was he in? Was he in the? Oh man, I forget when. Yeah, he was up there, dude. He was nowhere near the number 1 draft pick. And I mean, look at that. You know, I mean, he was nowhere near. And look, he's one of the greatest ever. And I mean, there's a lot of people that won't, and there's people that listen to this that will never admit that Tom Brady is one of the greatest ever.
I know,
this can't do it. And I'm a Colts fan. I'm a Peyton Manning guy, and I can admit that Tom Brady is one of the greatest ever.
Yep, especially just the people that love to hate on greatness.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Because Tom Brady,
just the best of the best have this. I mean, honestly, it shows how good you are when you have these kind of people around you. LeBron's got them. You know,
yep.
All the best of the best have them. You know, that's just the way it is.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan's got them.
He's never besides Wes Welker, Randy Moss, he's had scrubs.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he hasn't had the Yankees of teams. You know, it's been Tom Brady made a lot of these guys look better than they really are. Let's just say it. Let's just say what a lot of people won't say that, but I'll say it. That's just the facts.
It is a fact.
You know.
You want to get into some basketball talk?
Yeah, you want to make a different video about basketball because we're running at 25 minutes in a second here.
All right, yeah, we can.
So, is there anything else football related that we'd like to go over for this week at all?
Not really. Just ready for the draft, and be sure to follow us on our Twitter at SportsGuys247.
And make sure you subscribe too. Subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you guys can.
Yep, and give us comments. Let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Woo! I've got the style and profile.
This behind yo. Pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a cop try to ticket you, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a fan gets an attitude, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. I make $7 million a year, everybody watch me score. Don't play unless I want, cause I'm number 84.
Who says I won't walk off the field again? Who says I won't? Because the realness hurts. The truth hurts. I keep it real.
10 from the Green Bay 34. Play clock down to 3. Dante gets off the play. Takes a snap. Rolls out to the right. Moss wide open. He burned out Harris. Touchdown!
And profile like never before. But to beat a man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey guys, this is Nick and RJ coming back with another podcast with the Sports Guys 247. And this podcast is going to be a wrestling one. And I'm going to be starting off talking about the whole Randy Orton WrestleMania heel turn. I am praying to all the wrestling gods that he is not the leader of the Shield. I can't deal with another job squad like he did before with Legacy. I love Cody Rhodes, but Ted DiBiase, that was just terrible. Basically, it was LeBron basically beating around Mario Chalmers all day, like you watching an NBA game. I love the heel Orton. That's what I love. Randy Orton heel. Even if he's heel, people love him and cheer him. Even if he spits in their face, yells at them. I think he's gonna turn on Sheamus, and I think that it's gonna be him and Sheamus fighting eventually for the belt.
Yeah, I made this. I made a video talking about Randy Orton on my channel at XRJX720, and I made a ridiculously bold prediction a while back that, for some reason or another, I know logically it makes no sense, but that doesn't mean anything in wrestling. But I made a prediction that Randy Orton would be the leader of the Shield, and I got a lot of comments, people saying, well, he got beat up and stuff, but that really hasn't stopped any storyline in wrestling ever before. Case in point, we'll talk more about it later, but the Bully Ray thing, he got beat up for 9 months. And I think that the whole Randy Orton as the leader of the Shield would be ridiculous as far as logically, but I mean if that's how they want to put him heel, I'm all for it because we just need Randy Orton as heel. He's going nowhere as a face. Let's be honest about it. And uh, honestly, I think the reason he's going nowhere has nothing to do with the fact that he's heel or face. It's the fact that he's got 2 strikes already, and the third strike and you're out. And I don't think they want to push him toward the strap, especially when he's a liability right now. And I think that's the issue there. But Randy Orton is Randy Orton at his prime when he's heel, and no matter how it goes, I pray he turns heel soon.
Yeah, I agree with you. Any heel Randy Orton's good, but I just don't want him to be the leader of another, like I said before,
legacy kind of thing.
Yeah, another no-name group.
Yeah. Well, I think the Shield's way bigger as far as over-wise than the Legacy ever was, And I don't know if you remember or not, but when Legacy was going on, I even thought that Ted DiBiase was going to be the Michaels of that team, and where is he now? I mean, where is he now? He's got the DiBiase posse. That's ridiculous. You might as well have the list like Robbie E. I mean, it's insane, and Cody Rhodes hasn't really went anywhere either. I mean, he's got a mustache on his T-shirt. How many people's going to buy that? Honestly, talk about the ugliest T-shirt I've ever seen in my life. It really is. It's a comb. It's a shirt. It's a plain gray shirt with a comb on it.
Yeah, I think I don't know what to think about him. I watched last week for Raw, and that his match, I actually sat through his whole match.
Uh-huh.
It was a really good match.
Yeah, he can go. He can go in the ring. I mean, he's the son of Cody Rhodes and the brother of Goldust, so he just grew up in wrestling, and he's young, dude. He's not. I mean, I think he's like a year or two older than us. I mean, he's not that old at all, and think about how long he's been around. He was around. He was around back when his dad was doing little segments with people and stuff. He was back there defending his father, and he was tag team partners with Hardcore Holly with his horrible Texan music that he came out to.
Oh yeah,
and things like that. And I mean, Cody Rhodes, they keep him around because he could be a star. But the way they push him to the point, I think they're going to push him the way they are to the point where he can't be a main event draw. They're gonna wait too long to pull the trigger on that, and it's going to explode in their face.
Yeah, he's mid-carded right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the way he is right now, you can't see him in the main event picture. You just can't. And I mean, a year or two ago, right after Legacy broke up, I could have seen him, start making that way slowly but gradually toward there. And they were for a while. He was Intercontinental Champ. He had a role going. Remember that? And he had probably the best gimmick of his career when he had that mask thing. You know what I mean? And if that one wasn't, I mean, even the dashing thing was, at least it was entertaining. It was way better than I got a mustache. That's his gimmick now. I mean, remember that dude? What was his name on NXT? The really tall guy. He always come out there, and when he was John Morrison's rookie, he's like mustache, and that's all he would say. And it's ridiculous, but that's just how they're doing things with him. It really it's weird, but that's just how they're doing it.
Yeah, like we were talking about off camera, we were saying about how this WrestleMania is not the cream of the crop like it's been the past years. There's so many almost predictable matches.
Yeah, the weirdest thing though is on paper, star quality wise, this WrestleMania is incredible.
It's the Los Angeles Lakers.
Incredible, exactly. It's just like the Lakers this year. This is hard for me to say as a Laker fan. On paper it's fantastic, and it's just not cutting it in the way things are going right now. But I keep going back and forth on one match. There's no doubt in my mind, and I mean no doubt in my mind, Cena's going over. No doubt in my mind.
For sure.
If Cena didn't go over, that'd be the biggest. That'd be a bigger shock than Taker losing at WrestleMania. Honestly, The Rock beating Cena 2 straight Manias. There's nothing more shocking than that. I think that obviously that's going to be the main event match. But Undertaker versus Punk. I'm going with CM Punk on this one, and I'm going to tell you why. My original prediction, I said that the Undertaker has to win, but I can make a case for both ways, and I'm gonna try to do that quickly in this video here. On the case of CM Punk winning, if this is Undertaker's last WrestleMania, I think he's gonna put someone over in his last WrestleMania. And the only way that CM Punk would win this match is if this is Undertaker's last match. Which it could be. I mean, Paul Bearer, he passed away recently, and I mean, Undertaker's not looking any younger. He's 48 years old today, by the way. Happy birthday! Not like he's gonna listen to this, but still, and Undertaker is an old school guy, and old school guys put other people over toward the end of their career. Shawn Michaels, for example, and I can argue to the end of the world that he's the greatest of all time, and.
You will not have an argument with me.
Okay, and he put people over he wasn't champion past 2002. He came back, won world heavyweight title in the Chamber, and he never was champion again. Yes, he had tag titles, this, that, and the other, and he had world title matches, but he put people over in every single one of those matches. And the thing is, people would still line up today to watch him put someone else over. It doesn't matter if he wins; he's just that good in the ring, and. Undertaker's the same way, but Undertaker obviously don't put anybody over these days. But I think Undertaker, as old school as he is, in his last match would put someone over. And he would put someone over that's got a future. He wouldn't put someone over that like Triple H that's at the end of his career as well. He'd put someone over like CM Punk that is 34 years of age, got plenty of wrestling, another 10 years in wrestling at least, unless he wants to Hogan it up and, go 20 more. He could put someone like that over, and it'd be the biggest thing. If Taker's done wrestling, having a streak continue means nothing, because what's the point of being 21-0 if you never wrestle again? It's not like, oh my God, is the streak going to end this year? No, because it can never end because he never wrestles again. It's a way bigger factor to have CM Punk in the streak, and it'd be a giant storyline out of that. That'd be way bigger for wrestling to have that. Having said that, the other side of things, the argument that Taker has to win is that Undertaker, if the streak ends, it stops the rumor mill of WrestleMania next year. Because every year around October, November, they always start out, having the rumors going, who's Taker going to face this year? Is he going to come back? Is Taker going to have a match this year? Is the streak going to be on the line? Is the streak going to be over this year? All those kind of rumors going, and that's a giant buzz. That's huge for the WWE. And for that fact, I can argue that the streak could never end. Because just to always have that possibility of even if a return, if he's going to face this year, who he's facing, those kind of things, that's a huge draw for the WWE. And that's just how that's the two sides of it that I can see. And the fact that obviously besides the fact that the streak is not only a huge draw but the draw of WrestleMania. I don't care who else you have on the card. The streak is the thing that's the most talked about. It doesn't even matter. People can say Rock's seen it. We've seen it before, and I mean, I'm a fan of both those guys, but they're not going to be the talk of the town for this match or for this night. It's going to be CM Punk versus Undertaker, and for me, I'm going to go with CM Punk. If this is Undertaker's last match, if Undertaker's done this year, which he's looking older and stuff, then there's no reason why CM Punk would not go over. He might as well just. I'm not saying he's going to beat Taker clean, but you never know. He might get a count out, a disqualification, this, that, or the other, interference. But if this is Taker's last WrestleMania, Punk's going over. As far as Triple H and Brock Lesnar. I originally said that Triple H has to win. Because Triple H, there's no way that Triple H is going to put over Lesnar that many straight times. He's the game. But I completely changed my mind, and I'm going to tell you why. And you don't even know this yet, do you?
No, I said I wanted to hear the plot.
Okay, yeah. Batista came back backstage for NXT a couple nights ago and did a recording for Triple H's new DVD coming out. And as soon as I heard about this DVD being official, I've heard rumors about it, but it was never confirmed. But now we know it's confirmed. A new DVD for Triple H makes me think that he might be retiring. Because Usually when, for example, Shawn Michaels, when he had his last match with Undertaker, what came out 3 months before that? My Journey, the Shawn Michaels DVD. They usually bring these DVDs out right before or right after a career-threatening match. And when these DVDs come out, and it's just a theory, but when these come out, usually the person retires right after or right before. And to have Triple H have a new career DVD makes me think that they're... And, I mean, why would you bring... I mean, if he's got a DVD coming out and he doesn't retire, is he going to keep wrestling while the DVD's out, promoting it or being on TV? No, he's not. And no matter what, if win or lose, he's not going to be coming back. He's not coming back for a run. He's going to be doing stuff backstage. So that is the reason, and that's my theory, that the Triple H will lose to Lesnar in some way or form, and he will retire.
You can't argue with that. Those are Those are facts. Straight facts. I don't see, like, me personally, I don't see the streak ending. But if I thought it was going to end last time Edge fought him. Personally, I thought Edge would be the one to end it. And I don't know if they give CM Punk so much leeway for anything. I could see him winning too. Yeah. It's just, it all depends on, like what you were saying about if it's going to be his last match, because like you were saying, 21-0. Who cares about 21-0?
Yeah,
that's not 20-0. That's not 30-0.
It's not 25 even.
So, and what's our time looking like?
We got about 40 seconds.
All right, this is going to be I'm going to talk about something that we're going to be talking about in another podcast.
Okay.
All the Rock haters.
Oh man, we could go on for that. Might be a little over. That might be a little over. A little 15 minutes there, because I can go on about that for a long time. But go ahead and stay tuned. We will have more videos. We apologize for having these in such small segments. We hope to have longer videos in the future. But thanks for watching this, and be sure to check out the next part.
Thanks, guys.
Woo! I've got the style and profile.
Gets behind yo, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a cop try to ticket you, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a fan gets an attitude, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. I make $7 million a year, everybody watch me score. Don't play unless I want, cause I'm number 84.
Who says I won't walk off the field again? Who says I won't? Because the realness hurts. The truth hurts. I keep it real.
10 from the Green Bay 34. Play clock down to 3. Dante gets off the play. Takes a snap. Rolls out to the right. Moss wide open. He burned out Harris. Touchdown!
And profile like never before. But to beat a man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? RJ back with Nick from the SportsGuys247, SportsGuys247 on Twitter. And I'm going to talk about TNA real quick. And this is something that's bugging me, and I have to talk about it. It is ridiculous to me, and I mean ridiculous, what they're doing on TNA Impact shows. For starters, this is going to be a little bit of rant, so if you're a TNA fan, you're probably going to write some nasty comments, and I say go right ahead. Because if you can defend this, then, I guess... I'm not going to offend you, but what I want to say... Never mind, just leave any comments you like. And to me, wrestling has certain codes, and I've been involved in wrestling for quite a while, and there's certain things that you don't do. You don't make it, for starters, you don't make it clear as day that wrestling's fake, all right? I mean, there's things that, obviously Vince McMahon's limo blowing up, certain things that happen that clearly are fake. But what I mean by that is, in the middle of a match, you don't stop and take a break during commercial. That is the most disrespectful thing you could do to the art of pro wrestling, and that's what I'm going to call it. Because if any of you guys are in Chicago, any of you guys went to the recent TNA taping 2 weeks ago that they taped, not only this past Thursday's show, but the show, that live show the week before, know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that during commercial breaks, Well, for starters, the show is like it's set up like a TV show. Jeremy Borash will come out there and stuff, and they will tell people when to cheer and when to boo. Are you kidding me? Do you tell people when to cheer and when to boo? They'll be like, AJ Styles is about to come out, guys. Everybody, AJ Styles. Everyone, you ready for AJ Styles? Everyone cheer up for AJ Styles, folks. And they'll be like, oh, everybody, Christopher Daniels will be coming out next. Christopher Daniels will be out next. Make sure you boo him, folks. Are you kidding me? Do you think Vince McMahon comes out there? Okay, everybody, the Undertaker's coming out. I want you all to be psyched. No. I mean, it's ridiculous that they do that. And during commercial, they try to sell their merch. You have Sting out there trying to sell T-shirts. It's insane to me what they do. You know, and then you go into the part that aggravates me the absolute most. During commercials, you could be in the middle of a match, and then the wrestlers will start no-selling moves. When commercial goes, let's say AJ Styles is on the ground, even though he didn't wrestle the first part. If AJ Styles was on the ground. This is just an example. And Daniel or something elbowed him off the top rope, and he's selling it. They go to commercial break. You actually hear someone say, "And we're on commercial." And then AJ Styles will get up and act like nothing's wrong. Are you kidding me? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. And I just don't know how a company can get. No wonder they're in such bad shape. No wonder that company is struggling to stay on the air. I mean, that's insane. And then you got Dixie Carter over on by Taz and stuff, and you can actually see her over there telling them what to say. Can you imagine once again Vince McMahon over there by JBL? Oh, put over Stone Cold, put over Stone Cold, put over that The Rock's gonna be here tonight. Put it over. I mean, no, he's not gonna be right there. They got enough technology that can say stuff through the headsets. At least it's not as ridiculous. I mean, come on. And then speaking of Dixie Carter, you got Dixie Carter going up to the fans and telling them to throw their trash at Bully Ray. Everyone, come on, please throw your... She's begging people, throw your trash. Please throw your trash. Are you kidding me? They're trying to relive a WCW, NWO, thing. We call us the New World Order of Professional Wrestling. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's just a very poor organization. As you know, I was a huge TNA guy, and I was anti WWE for a long time, and just I can't even watch it anymore. I love AJ Styles. I can't watch it. Sting was one of my all-time favorites. I can't watch that. My favorite tag team split up. Still watch it for Kurt Angle, but the whole Aces and Eights thing is just a cheesy, wannabe, never gonna happen version of the NWO. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah. The difference between them and the NWO, though, is NWO was 3 mega stars.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like Bully Ray, but he's not a mega star. And and the sad thing is he's the biggest star in that group.
Yeah, we'll just think of the other group that they had before, the Main Event Mafia. That's a legit group. Oh, yeah.
I mean, if there was anyone that didn't fit in there, it would be Scott Steiner, but I still consider him good enough to be in there.
Oh, for sure. And like I was telling you about before, the whole AJ Styles thing. I hope they're not really just taking pages out of WCW and trying to relive them.
Yeah, with the Sting thing, is he in, is he out?
Yeah, is he in, is he out, and then have him pretend that he's with them, and then turn on him, and then save TNA.
Yeah.
It's.
I think they're trying to make him an outlaw.
What's that?
I think it seems like they're trying to make him the outlaw, AJ Styles.
It's bad.
You know what makes him an outlaw, don't you? He lets his hair grow and he doesn't take quite as many showers.
Yeah, and the whole thing trying to make him be like distant from his family.
Oh, and he rides a motorcycle away from his house in insane speeds out of nowhere. He's an outlaw.
Yeah, like he stole Batman's motorcycle or something.
And he's an outlaw, man. He had to steal that boy.
Yeah, I don't know, like the whole thing where they're making him be distant from his family, all this and that. It's stupid.
Oh man, what if he comes biker Styles?
What's that?
What if they turn him into biker Styles, like Undertaker?
Yeah, and then he wrestles Taker next year at Mania. Biker Taker versus Biker Styles.
Oh man, I mean, if that's what it took to get Undertaker back, I'd be all for it. I'd be all. I don't care if Undertaker has to face the wannabe Biker Taker Chuck Palumbo. You know, Chuck Palumbo versus, if that gets Biker Taker back, I'm cool with that. I'll take a crappy match for that.
Yeah, finally get to hear it rolling.
Or something, or you done it now, or something. You know, it's but TNA. The thing is, I don't want to hate it, and I don't hate it. I just think it's. I hate the fact I would never want to go to an Impact taping. For any of you guys that go to Impact tapings, it's ridiculous, and I mean the tickets are cheap. And if you don't really care about the sport of pro wrestling or the art form of wrestling, and you just want to see the stars, then go to Impact taping. But if you want to see quality matches, and you want to see during commercials, you want to see the wrestlers, continue to sell and get you embraced into the moment, go to Monday Night Raw. Go to NXT. Go to ROH. Go anywhere else, because they treat this place like it's a television show. They don't treat it like it's a sports entertainment. They treat it like it's like a soap opera where they yell cut and stuff like that. I mean, they're not literally saying cut, but they'll announce that it's a commercial break so the wrestlers ain't got to do anything and they can just get back up and not sell moves.
Yeah, it's just basically a spit in the face of all the ex-wrestlers.
Exactly. Bret Hart would shake his head with shame.
Like, I can't believe Kurt Angle stands for it.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. Because Kurt Angle is he's one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
There's a reason why TNA went to 2 hours after Angle got there. I mean, it wasn't before. When Sting got there, it was 1 hour. When Kurt Angle gets there, that's a 2 hour show.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a reason. But
I just don't get it. Like, if he's just doing it for a paycheck now, or what? But
I mean, there's a lot of rumors with him, and I don't want to slander Kurt Angle's name by saying some of the things that people are saying about him. But I'll go ahead and just be brief. Kurt Angle. I mean, there's a lot of rumors that Kurt Angle has drug addiction problems. Doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean he does have pill problems or anything like that. But I've heard stories about that, and I've heard stories about his neck, it being too bad to the point where he can't legally be cleared to compete with WWE. I've heard a lot of stories like that, and some of them may or may not be true. But I mean, if Kurt Angle was ever to come back, I think WWE would at least give him some kind of role. If it wasn't wrestling related, they'd give him a management position or as a manager for a wrestler or something like that. But I think he would do something. There's like a handful of TNA talent that would actually be able to go to WWE. And there's all kind of, Robert Roode and all these guys are like, oh, I'd choose to stay here. So you choose to make less money and be less famous and, have to work that much harder. And by work that much harder, I don't mean, obviously WWE's got way, way harder of a touring schedule. But the fact that all these guys always say, oh, they get paid the same. No, they don't. They do. Get out of here. I don't care who you are. You're going to sell more merch. You're going to sell more merch in WWE no matter who you are than you will in TNA. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't even sell out. They can't even sell out arenas. They have to tape out. They have to tape off like 2/3 of the arena and have like 4,000 people there, and 4,000 people in a 16-person arena. There's more people in one Monday Night Raw arena than there are people that buy TNA pay-per-views, for crying out loud. It's ridiculous. I mean, people don't even care to stream most of those pay-per-views.
No.
You ever try to download a pay-per-view from TNA? You got to wait like a day or two because no one puts it up on a torrent website because there's such a little WWE pay-per-views are on torrent sites 2 hours after the show. TNA, you might have to wait 2 or 3 days to watch the next Impact because you had to wait 5 days to see what the pay-per-view was about. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer that they're going to stay afloat. Dixie's just going to run them right into the ground further than they are right now.
Yeah, and as far as Bully Ray goes, I'm a Bully Ray fan. I really am. I think the guy's great, and I have no problem with him being champion. I just have a problem with the Aces and Eights entire storyline. Him being champ, him being heel, that's fantastic. it makes no sense, but it's fantastic. So you get beat up for nine straight months, and you're the leader. That's awesome. But even though the leader clearly had Eric Bischoff's voice on the voiceovers, which is really weird, they still haven't explained that yet. Maybe they'll say they put the Eric Bischoff, it was hostage or something, or I don't know. But I have no problem with Bully Ray, and the fact people say, oh, he's too old to be champion. How are you too old to be champion? If you can go, it don't matter how old you are. It don't matter if you're 45 years old and you're champion. Hulk Hogan was champion when he was 52 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are to be champion. If you can go, you can go. And Bully Ray's a great talker. He can go. Him being champ has nothing to do with weight, has nothing to do with anything like that. All it has to do with is the fact that it's someone different, and TNA is the kind of company that puts their title on everyone and sees how it's going to work. You know, I mean, pretty much anyone that remotely has been a main eventer in any capacity in TNA has been a champion, at least once. They give everyone a try, and some last longer than others, but that's just how it is.
Yeah, and like when the whole 8 and 8 thing started, half the times it wasn't even the real guys. They had just staff guys put on masks.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't afford to pay them.
They couldn't afford to have the guys there every week.
Yeah. Oh, you can't afford to pay Luke Gallows? Like, really?
I wonder how much Luke Gallows is asking for. He can't be asking for much more than Val Venus these days.
Well, I don't know.
I'd take Val Venus over Gallows. I'd be calling up Sean Morley like, "Hey, come on in here, dude. We'll hook you up with Rex Ryan, or not Rex Ryan, Joey Ryan. We'll hook you up with Joey the Rex Ryan, I guess, and
hello, lady.
And that'd be a sick group, man.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing is, you know who one of my favorite stars in TNA is? Matt Morgan. The DNA of TNA. Matt Morgan, the DNA of TNA.
Oh yeah.
The MVP of Spike TV. The only man to have his DNA sent into NASA for testing. Yeah, you don't say that no more, but that's what happened. The only man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm winking when I say that, but you guys can't tell.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, he's a legend. I'm a huge fan of Matt Morgan. But who's your favorite star there?
Kurt Angle.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Kurt Angle and AJ.
Yeah. Well, we're about out of time. This is our last video for the night, isn't it?
Yep.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll be back next week for more. Please give us comments. Leave us messages on Twitter and stuff at SportsGuys247, or follow me at XRJX720. We will definitely be back with more videos next week, and we'll see you later. Signing out for now.
Thanks.
Woo! I've got the style and profile.
This behind yo. Pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a cop try to ticket you, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a fan gets an attitude, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. I make $7 million a year, everybody watch me score. Don't play unless I want, cause I'm number 84.
Who says I won't walk off the field again? Who says I won't? Because the realness hurts. The truth hurts. I keep it real.
10 from the Green Bay 34. Play clock down to 3. Dante gets off the play. Takes a snap. Rolls out to the right. Moss wide open. He burned out Harris.
Touchdown! And profile like never before. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hello and welcome to another Nick and RJ show. How's it going, RJ?
I'm doing pretty good.
How was your little week off from my last video?
It was pretty good. I just pretty much same old. There really wasn't that much of an exciting week. I just, aggravated in sports, and wrestling was okay. Looking forward to WrestleMania and stuff like that. My Lakers aren't doing so well, but this is more about wrestling, so we'll get back to that later.
Yeah, nothing too exciting. What else we do on TNA on Thursday?
Oh, TNA is something that it's the funny thing is I only watch it now at this point is just to entertain myself about how much better WWE really is as a product.
Yeah, it's almost like watching the Jets and Mark Sanchez play football.
Exactly. You watch them just to see how bad they'll fail.
Yeah. Yeah, like the more and more that I read and watch TNA is more and more they're trying to make AJ Styles the WCW Sting. More and more. Now they're giving AJ a jacket.
I'm telling
like Hulk Hogan gave Sting an NWO shirt. Whoa, what a coincidence!
You think he'll be coming down from the rafters soon with a bat? You have a bat with him?
Yeah, like, are they really, like, did he grow the beard just for the 8s and 8s to make him look rugged?
Well, he's an outlaw.
Motorcycle,
you know, I guess you're not understanding. He's an outlaw, man.
Oh, man, I know. Well, stealing Batman's motorcycle, Joker can't even do that.
No, that's the ultimate outlaw right there.
Yeah.
I know that James Storm's supposed to be an outlaw, but I think AJ's trying to take his spot, dude.
Yeah, you better not let Chuck Palumbo find that out.
Oh, man, that's probably Chuck Palumbo's bike. They probably repoed it because he got cut from WWE so many years ago.
Yeah, but on a serious note, just devastating news today. I know you messaged me earlier today about it. About
Ric
Flair.
I thought it was Ric Flair at first. When I saw breaking news and it just said Flair when I got on my phone, I was like, "Oh, please don't be Ric Flair." Well, I mean, I don't want anything to happen to anybody, but just Ric Flair. I've been terrible, but it's still equally as bad. A guy that young passing away.
Yeah, 24, and I was actually looking up, like, I was checking out his Twitter, and he was tweeting just fans and letting them fans know that he's doing okay and this and that. It's just a shock.
Yeah, but Ric Flair was in the hospital, I think, last week, right? Or earlier this week. He had like a blood clot or something, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he was scheduled to do a bunch of house shows, and he canceled all of those.
Uh-huh.
And I know, like, I was reading, like, was it PWI? I was reading on Google, and they were saying that, like we were talking before, Reed, the WWE was looking at him for, like, the developmental system.
Yeah.
I know that, because since he was going to go with ROH, but after he got that heroin charge, they washed their hands of him.
Yeah.
So I just hope it's not like an overdose or something along those lines.
Yeah, they haven't released what it was. I mean, it could be anything, you know.
Yeah.
But you got to believe that, you know, it wasn't natural causes at that age. I mean, anything can happen, obviously, in this world, but odds are against it being natural causes is what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes along with that Chris Benoit, like why would the guy take his own life when he was going to win the belt?
There's so much mystery in the Chris Benoit thing. There's conspiracies about that and stuff too. And
all Kevin Sullivan conspiracies.
There's people that say that he was like that someone came in there, killed them, and then made it look like a murder suicide.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean it sounds far fetched, but we really don't know what happened.
Oh, with the world we live in these days, you can't rule anything out.
I mean, I'm not saying that happened, but it's definitely a possibility. You don't know. Especially, the thing that really supports that is when they did the Chris Benoit special on Monday, the day before they really knew what happened. Everyone was talking about how great of a guy he was.
Yep.
Everyone crying and stuff. When you think about it that way, and I mean, it makes you think that could happen. You know, it makes you think that you never know, someone might have did that. If he's that good of a guy, why would he do that? You know.
Exactly.
But they did do stuff about his brain though. They did like an autopsy or something on his brain, saying it was like badly damaged. So I mean, it does support the idea that he actually did do what they say he did.
Yeah, and the whole thing, it's Kevin Sullivan's ex-wife, and Kevin Sullivan threatened his life numerous times. And I don't know what all is true. They said they found beer cans next to him, and he had no alcohol in his system, and then he had bruises around his neck. Yeah,
there's just so much death in wrestling, you know.
Yeah.
Lex Luger, I mean, people still think that he killed Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, I was actually talking to somebody about that today. We were saying that he didn't necessarily, we don't think he necessarily killed her, but he didn't stop her from taking her own life.
Yeah.
We think he was the one that was feeding her pills.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. There's so many great wrestlers that have died. You know, Eddie Guerrero comes to mind, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Just so many wrestlers. I mean, and it's not always drugs, but it's just the wrestling lifestyle is what catches up to them, you know, the pill popping. I mean, it's amazing that the Clique's still alive, you know.
Oh, most definitely. Like I was telling you before, I was listening to Mark Henry on our local radio station here, and he was just talking about the way they travel. Everyone thinks they're riding G6s. He's like, no, we're doing commercial. We're not riding first class.
Oh no, they're all just all there together. But I think that it's good to see someone like DDP, you know, helping people out. Like Jake the Snake Roberts, he's been a train wreck for years.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, anyone that knows anything, it's so sad. I mean, I remember the first time I saw Jake Snake come out drunk, and you couldn't help but laugh because he'd take a move and instead of selling it, he'd like fall down and just lay there. And it was hilarious. I mean, it's the same time it's crazy, sad, and depressing. But on the other side, it was just hilarious to see him just sit there and just lay there and he'll take a right hand, just lay there, and the wrestler has no idea what to do. It's crazy entertaining, but the entertainment factor does not make up for the fact that the poor guy's going through all that.
Oh yeah, just Scott Hall.
Scott Hall's still trying to. I think he already made the $80,000 for the hip replacement. I think he hit the goal, but he's still doing things to raise extra money, which I don't know what the extra money goes to. But for Scott Hall, there's an option. You can go hang out at the DDP whatever, what was it called, the Recovery House or whatever. You can go there for $3,500. You and a friend can go hang out with him, Scott Hall, and Jake Snake Roberts for 24 hours and stay at their house.
Hey, could you imagine some of the information we can get on a podcast with those guys?
Oh, that'd be great. I'd rather go pay Kevin Nash $1,000. There's a option you can go. There's a weekend with Nash, and it consists of 3 days. You come in Friday, you leave Sunday night. You stay at Kevin Nash's house. You have daily dinners with Kevin Nash. You can ask him whatever you want, hour-long dinners. And you have, which is my favorite part, by the way, cigar time with Kevin Nash.
What better time than cigar time?
Exactly. You have three consecutive days of cigar time with Kevin Nash.
Have you checked out G.I. Joe yet?
I have not got to see it. I can't wait to see it. Someone spoiled for me last year because it was supposed to come out last year, and the whole thing was held back because people didn't like how a certain character, which I don't want to give anything away, a certain character died too early in the very beginning. I don't know if they fixed that or not, but one of the main stars dies at the very beginning, and people really hated that, so they took a whole year to re-edit and change things about the video. I don't know what all they changed, but I mean, if they took an entire year, extra, it should be a lot better. I'm expecting great things from it.
Well, yeah, if you don't listen to The Rock, you'll be getting a people's level or a rock bottom. It's just plain and simple.
I remember the old days when The Rock actually rock bottomed people in his movies. Like every movie, he'd have a wrestling move in it somewhere where he's beating someone up.
The Rundown.
Rundown, he rock bottomed somebody. I'm pretty sure he did something like that in Walking Tall too, which was my favorite Rock movie of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies. It's just great.
Yeah, the guy is he's something else. He's a one of a kind.
That's all you can say. Yeah, he's by far the best actor out of wrestling. All these other wrestlers try to act, and Stone Cold does a really good job. Yeah. But Stone Cold's got a really limited acting, acting, skill set. So he can do really good action movies, but I don't think he could, he's not versatile like The Rock is when it comes to acting. But Stone Cold's movies are really great, but it's just sad that they all go straight to DVD. I'd love to see some of those films in the theaters.
Oh yeah, like was it the Condemned with
Austin?
That
one and the Expendables, the first one was in there, obviously not because of Austin, but it was in theaters.
Yeah.
And he's doing Funny People too.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's in there. He's not a huge part of it, but I think he's like 9 or 10 down on the billing. So it should be interesting what he does on the Funny People too, with Adam Sandler and David Spade and all those guys. But there's just certain actors. The Miz obviously don't have a future in acting. Wade Barrett. If anyone thinks that Wade Barrett's got a future in acting, they're kidding themselves. When the man don't even have did he even have a line in that movie? I think he's just Hunchman 3, Wade Barrett, Hunchman 3.
Yeah. It's like a guy gargling and trying to eat corn at the same time. Listen to him talk.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, I'll give the Miz one thing. The Marine 3 was much better than the worst movie based on WWE films I've ever seen in my life. Besides obviously Randy Orton's movie, which is not his fault because he was only in 2 minutes of it. I think he had one line. It was, "I'm not gonna let this stand." Okay, cut. Randy Orton, thank you. That's a wrap for Orton, guys. Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it for Orton, guys. That's a wrap. Everybody. That's a wrap for Randy Orton. I mean, that's kind of how that movie was. Oh God, I don't like to use wrestling terms, but that movie was such a Janetti. It really was. But the absolute worst movie I've ever seen, WWE films, that the star was in it the whole time, was Ken Anderson's Behind Enemy Lines Columbia.
Oh man, see, for me, it's between I could not do The Chaperone.
The chaperone.
It's just Triple H. I'm the chaperone.
But, see, I like that. It's hilarious. I found it to be great. I'm on the bus. I'm the chaperone. It was like a giant commercial for iPhones too. Everyone had an iPhone. Every single person in that movie had an iPhone. Okay, hold on. I can't find her. Let me get my iPhone. It was great. I love that movie because it was so.
Movie with Jamie Kennedy. I laughed a lot in that movie.
Well, see, Edge's movie was okay. Another horrible movie was. It was so bad that WWE lost crazy millions of dollars. Was Knucklehead.
That was gonna be my second one.
That was so bad. I think that movie would have been great if they actually put wrestlers in every single, like all the actors were wrestlers. How great would that be? But no, they have one wrestler in it, and he does the stupidest crap. You know, it was just horrible. Big Show was a GI joke in that movie.
Yeah,
he really was.
Just as bad as when Vince wanted to do all that crazy stuff and see no evil in Kane.
Oh yeah, it's just ridiculous some of the movies they make.
Like, thank goodness Vince McMahon is not a director.
Yeah, I mean Triple H did a second movie too. What was he? He was a guy that loved pickles or something, right? In Inside Out or whatever it was called. Man, he loved pickles. He's like, I'm the pickle grower or whatever. He like grows pickles, and his job was he wanted to have a pickle farm, and it was just.
It's just.
Have you ever seen Kurt Angle's movies?
Oh, I downloaded one of them.
Have you seen the one? Have you seen the one where he starts out in the movie? He's with some girl and he's like,
"Yes, that's the
I'm gonna take a few. Let me take a few. You mind if I take a few pictures?" I started cracking up. It was he's the most to catch a actor I've ever seen in my life. And it's so clear. It's so clear that the acting's just horrible all around. It's not just him. Everyone's acting in that movie was bad.
Yeah, I tried to watch the first 25 minutes of it, and then I just was like, I can't do this.
He did a good job in what was that movie? Not Fighting. What was it? You know, do you remember that movie? He pretended to be he was a Russian. He was acting as a Russian MMA fighter. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it came out I think 2011, 2010. It was a good movie. He actually did a really good job in that, but he played a Russian MMA fighter that was undefeated, and it was actually a really good job he did. He actually sounded Russian too. He did a good job.
Yeah, I feel like that they've made like 15 movies like that already with UFC guys.
Oh yeah.
And because I feel like that I just saw one with
there was nothing spectacular in it, but I'm just saying overall in the little parts that he had, he did a good job in it.
Okay. Yeah.
But what about the hold on? What about the MacGruber? That's one we forgot. Mark Henry, Jericho, and all, they all just get killed in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
I think that movie was hilarious.
My favorite part was the fact that they have 5 wrestlers. Who was it? Mark Henry, Kane, Jericho. There's a few other guys too, and they're all in a van, and then MacGruber gets out to go talk to somebody, and the Rocket just kills them all.
I think the real question is over under 50 career matches against each other for Wade Barrett and Randy Orton.
Oh, that's my favorite kind of matches. Are some Wade Barrett and Orton matches combined.
Yep. You know what they could follow up with?
What's that?
Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Johnson matches.
Oh, some Kofi Jobson and Dolph Ziggler matches. That'd be great. Sign me up for some of that. I mean, if they want me to take my time in the bathroom, then they can do stuff like that. That'd be real great.
Yep, make sure you say your prayers and eat your vitamins, brother.
Oh, nothing I like more than to go to a 4-hour SmackDown taping than to sit there and have consecutive matches like that. That'd be great.
Oh, man, yeah. So I am, like I was talking about before, about the whole, I don't know if it's a rumor about CM Punk taking time off after Mania.
Yeah. I hope it's a rumor.
This past 2 years, he said it's taken a toll, and a lot of people said that he's got a lot of more injuries than he's leading on to have.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
So that leads with, like how we were talking on the last one about WrestleMania, I could see Undertaker beating him because if CM Punk beats him, you know he's going to want to rub it into everyone's face that he ended the streak, this and that.
Well, see, that's the thing. If the rumors are true and it is, if CM Punk is taking time off, there's no way that someone's ending the streak and not going to be there for the next 3 or 4, 5, 6 months. I mean, you realize how big of a hype train, how big of a storyline that would be that he ended the streak. That's something that you would want to be around for a while. If you're taking time off after Mania, you're not ending the Undertaker streak.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly my point. And then they said that for that to happen, they're trying to get The Rock and Brock Lesnar more shows to try to make up for the absence of CM Punk.
Yeah. I know Brock Lesnar's supposed to wrestle three times a year right now. I don't know if I don't know if we'll see Lesnar that much. I'd love to see Lesnar. I'd love to see Lesnar like every pay-per-view, but I don't think we're going to see it. Rock, I know he's by far the most busy man in the company. That guy does like 7 to 8 hours of just putting over his movies at talk shows, and he'll take a flight and get zero sleep, and 17 hours later he'll be over at Raw and stuff. People don't give the guy credit, and it's not. I think he would wrestle on Monday Night Raw. By the way, because there's people saying, "Oh, he's the champion and he don't even wrestle on Raw." Yeah, let me know when the last time the champion was the top 5 actors in the world right now.
Exactly.
And obviously Vince don't want to give away that. It's not about if The Rock wants to wrestle on Raw or not. Vince is not going to give away Brock Lesnar or The Rock on free television, or Undertaker probably, or even Triple H at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. People would have such a different view if Stone Cold came in for a month, won the belts, and was gone.
No, this is what the people would say. Oh, his neck's hurt. He can't wrestle that much.
Yeah.
His body's not in that great a shape. He's an older guy. He can't wrestle. He can't wrestle every week. That's why he's not doing it.
Yeah, it's just it's a double standard.
Yeah.
It's just that's all it is.
No one says a thing about Undertaker.
No, exactly. He'll come back a month and a half before.
He'll come back, bury somebody at WrestleMania, and then he just won't see him again until next year.
But that's okay because.
Oh, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'm not one of those people that are going to complain about that.
Exactly.
But I'm just making a point for the people that do complain. So I think as long as Taker's there I'd rather see Taker once a year than not see Taker at all.
Exactly. They've paid their dues. It's the same thing as veteran players like Brett Favre, for example, not going to the OTAs. He's been there. He's done that. He's paid his debt. It's for all these young guys.
Yeah, I don't get it. If Shawn Michaels came back for one match a year, no one would say a thing.
Yeah, that's because he's a showstopper.
The headliner, the main event. That's the way, Mr. WrestleMania, the icon, Mr. Hall of Fame, Mr. Outdoor Hunting Adventures. Oh man!
Hey, you're not trying to plug or anything, are you?
No. It's a great television show, though. Great television. But I'm not trying to plug, but yeah. That they did win a lot of awards on that show, though, which is more than I could say for Redneck Island, but still. Redneck Island. Give me a break. I like Stone Cold, but come on, seriously. Oh man.
Yeah.
But
we were also I was talking to another guy today just about just the greatest rivalries, even before like our generation, because he used to watch Saturday morning wrestling.
Uh-huh.
Some of the stuff he's talking about, I just nod my head and just open my ears.
Yeah, honestly, the stuff before the early 90s, I know about from collections and watching it, but a lot of these old wrestlers, I can't get into old wrestling. I really can't. And the time's running out in this video, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it, but if you want, we'll make another one real quick, and anyone that's listening to this can tune in, and we'll talk about old wrestling.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, what's going on? This is the joke of the week. Of course, these jokes are all pretty dark and stuff, and if you guys take this serious, you can if you want. I really don't care, but we just do it for fun, and you gotta have a sense of humor. And obviously, some of the things we make fun of is something that we shouldn't make fun of. But anyways, here it is. Did you hear that Hulk Hogan opened up a new restaurant there, Nick?
Oh no, really? Where at?
It's in Florida. I don't know if you know this or not, but Nick Hogan, Hulk Hogan's son, is working there.
Oh, really? What does he do?
He is the cook. He's cooking there.
Oh, what does he cook?
He's got a really limited skill set. He can only make one thing. He makes vegetables.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all he can make.
Oh man.
For those of you that get that joke, I applaud you. And for those of you that don't get it, if I explain it, it would, ruin everything.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone have a good week.